All right. Red button says live. Hopefully it's working.
Hopefully.
Oh, Stubby Dog heard us talking, had to come running down here. Are you coming down to say hi to all the people, Stubby Dog? Look at that tail. What a good boy. What's happening, Feeshin friends? Welcome to another live, a fun live tonight because it's a giving back. Thank you. Happy thanks, Feeshin giving to all of you. I would not be here if it was not for all of you. So tonight we're having fun, answering questions, hanging out, and, just kind of doing a Q&A. Chilling, giving a bunch of stuff away. I've got, let's see, a couple reels. I might add another reel, and I was looking for a couple others. I've got a big, like a larger bait giveaway, a finesse bait giveaway, and then a few random boxes. So we got a few giveaways tonight. We'll do. Yeah, Dizzle, what's new in your neck of the woods? I see you got your lumberjack jacket back there. Your flannel. Been chopping some wood.
You guys get any snow?
Like a tiny little dusting early.
It's pretty much been snowing on and off all day.
Nice.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
It's probably because of the heat that Iowa brought through, pushed all that cold out, beating Nebraska. People were so pissed that Iowa won. Go Hawks.
That's what I saw something on the Courier's website or the Courier's page of something. I don't even know what it was, but it was like there were two Iowa fans cheering for punts. They had punt sweatshirts on. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yeah, they were in the stands. They kept flipping to them. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Good sense of humor from the Iowa fans when they know there's going to be a lot of punting. So tonight, we're just going to kind of go every, 15-ish minutes. We'll do a giveaway here. Of course, always want to. Trevor says Dizzle is whitewashed. Do you have a bright light on you?
Yeah, I thought I had it set up right, but I'll fix it. Don't worry.
All the members out there, just like Trevor, I want to especially thank all y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate everybody going the extra mile, doing a monthly donation to me. Appreciate the heck out of y'all. I did leave my links below. Do have a few companies I work with. If you choose to shop over there, I always appreciate it. If not, you find somewhere else. That's cool too. I'm not going to beg you to go over there. You like it, you like it. You don't. That's the other thing too. Somebody was messaging me the other day about sponsorships and all this stuff, and like I don't get too hard into it. I'm not doing this for a job. It's not my my job, my profession, right? I still work a full-time job. So I have fun with it. I do honest reviews, whether I like the thing or not. And if people say, well, you're sponsored, you can't do an honest review, I would challenge anybody in a room to that with me, not to a fight, just to let's look at it. And they're like, well, if you work with anybody intrinsically, you're going to always say nice things about them. It's like, well, no, maybe. However, I was burned really bad early on, and it was probably one of the best things that ever happened for me working with companies and how that kind of works, that type of stuff and what not to look for. Sometimes the best lessons are a loss, kind of like the Nebraska Cornhuskers. You need to learn that you need one more win to get a bowl, eligibility, and they didn't. So
yeah, apparently.
Anyway, go Hawks. So tonight, let's see. What should we start off with? Let's start off with a banger here. I got to do a special thanks to this one. Make sure this is the right one. And I didn't realize this after I started reading it. So this is one you've seen on my channel a few times. I did a casting test. I've used it a few times fishing jerk baits, topwater. This is the Bruin. You've seen Paul Elias show this reel off. I think he was like the pro that helped him build it or whatever. But my man, Philip Cheek, I don't know. I haven't seen him in here yet. This is the Baitcaster. It's actually a pretty sweet reel. I didn't know this until reading it, but it's aluminum frame and aluminum side plates right there. Huge fan of that. Casts well. I know Philip has beat the hell out of his. He has, I don't know, a handful of them. The regular, I think, $250. Philip got some on sale, and this, all transparency, he bought this and sent it to me to try out and said, hey, use it. Tonight he said, hey, you're doing giveaways. You haven't been using that reel much. He said, you better give it away to somebody else that can use it more. And I said, you know what, Philip, you are damn right. And he's donated a ton to the channel. And it also comes with some real old schematics. I have the box and everything for it. It's a righty. So if you're not right-handed, don't enter for this one. We might try to find another left-handed. 22-pound drag. It was a really good reel. The interesting thing about this one, it was kind of different to dial in because it's got two different brake dials. So it's got like your main one and then the magnetic. God, I haven't even had this thing open in forever. I don't even remember how to open it. think you might have to take the screw out if I remember correctly, but I want to say it's dual. It's magnetic and centrifugal, both on there. So yeah, kind of a cool reel. The larger deal here and the smaller one inside, but yeah, kind of a cool reel. But yeah, Bruin's one of those companies I never heard of them making reels. I want to say I've heard of Bruin doing something else. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but
Hockey, I think it was.
what the hell? Oh yeah, the Bruins. Does that say DEBO'S on it right there? Oh, DEBO'S. Oh, DEBO'S. Breaks. Oh, DB. All right, so we'll do this. Get this giveaway going here. This will be the first one. Then we're just gonna do some Q&A. So you better get some questions slinging out there. We'll have some fun tonight. Let's see. Do the StreamYard giveaway.
Man. I, for whatever reason, have Louis the Lightning Bug song stuck in my head. Gotta play it safe around the power lines.
Multiple entries don't work, so if you put 27 in, doesn't matter. And I said this is a right-handed, right? Let me double check.
Yes.
I think I said it right. Yes, it is a right-handed. So if you're a lefty, don't enter for this unless you use both, like me. I am ambi. Turkey or stuffing? I am for sure turkey. I like stuffing, but turkey is just like today, for example. Leftover turkey, I honestly like probably more than regular, like fresh turkey. Oh, I'm not sharing either.
Oh, yeah, no.
Just because it's fun to do different stuff with it. So today I did a quesadilla, just regular flour tortillas, put on some cheddar cheese, got it warmed up. Oh, under it, I did a compound butter my wife made. So it's butter with like garlic. You melt it down in a pot. All of our fresh herbs. So it had like chives, basil, all the stuff from our garden. So I did that at the bottom, toasted the tortilla, cheese, leftover turkey, kimchi, Japanese mayo, and just like a little tiny bit of soy sauce. Oh my gosh, dude. And I dipped it in ranch because I'm from Iowa and I freaking love ranch. It was so good. Spicy, yummy. But yeah, that leftover turkey, so damn good.
That's funny. I just wanted to make sure, Debo, you left out all of the herbs from the special garden in your special butter you make. Or your wife makes.
Yeah, no, I have. I've never partaken in any of the special herbs. Never been a thing to me. I have asthma, so I could never smoke it, and it was never a thing to like do edibles. I'd never even heard of that. I don't even think they were a thing back when we were in college. I probably would have tried an edible back then, but now it's like, and it's becoming more and more legal and whatever. But it never kicked off to me. Liza, was I correct that Philip said also today could be your birthday? If it is, happy birthday, Liza, and thank you so much for the $10 bomb. Appreciate the
quite a few comments stating the fact of that.
Look at that. Happy birthday. Hugs. Cool.
Somebody only turns 27 once in a lifetime. Better enjoy it.
Liza, you don't look a day over 22. Cisco, if you guys and gals have questions while we're doing this makes it really easy to grab these out. When I see 1,700 Bruin messages, actually only 113, 260 people watching. Give us a thumbs up. It's free if you like the stream. If not, well, then get off the stream and go do something productive. Don't be a troll, because that means your life is pathetic. Hang out with us. Have a good time. But yeah, do questions so I can see it as I'm going through here. Let's say 1:30. We get to 1:30. I'll give away the reel.
I am grabbing some and put it in the stream private chat as well.
I see that. Okay. Okay, so Cisco, what's the most underrated Thanksgiving side? Most underrated? I think I'm probably under or not in popularity. I really like green bean casserole, and I never have it except for, but people like it. Seems like everybody hates it and makes fun of it. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, underrated. Actually, I was just talking to my buddy about this. My I don't know if it was my grandma but his mom always makes it. It's this sweet potato like bake. So it's like crushed up sweet potatoes with like this buttery pecan like crumble. So it's almost like a cobbler, like a sweet potato cobbler with like a pecan pie-ish tasting top. Oh my God, dude, get out of town. That stuff is amazing. And we don't have it every Thanksgiving. It's not like a staple. It's been a few years since I've even had it, but
my mom
delicious.
makes
All right,
this.
we just hit 1:30.
I don't know what it is. It's got like
final call.
corn, like cream corn of sorts, and then cornbread, and then sour
Bruin
cream
real,
in it or something. Bakes it.
right-handed.
Stuff is money.
I have had that too. That is really good. My wife makes that sometimes.
Oh, you know what? Oh my god! I just realized what I didn't make for Thanksgiving that I wanted to. 7-layer salad. Figured
My
out
mom
on
makes
that.
that as well. I like that.
So good. So good.
Okay, that is it. I'm doing the poll. I am sharing. Okay, only one
Must
winner.
be present to win.
Must be present to win. I'm only doing one winner tonight because they're pretty good giveaways, and I'll probably dig up another one here. But I don't want to have like one person. Like I saw Joshua Simonson in here, and he's the inaugural. I will win every single one that you got. Not a Bob. And one thing I'm going to do to help keep these straight, Ed, I've got your giveaway, and Andy. Both of them got in touch with me after I had already sent out stuff.
Good.
So I do have yours. I wrote your name on the things here. Let's see. So not a Bob. Are you?
Not a Bob. Looking for it.
Here?
Not a Bob is here.
In here. All right. So
750. Dang, just like that. Boom pow.
not a Bob. First winner of the night, a Bruin reel. And it actually is a really nice reel. I think it's got 12 or 14 pound mono on it. That was from last year, so you might want to change it out. But
it kind of has a almost had in the quick glance of it outside of the side plate and the braking. It kind of had a Corrado look to it.
No, it's like black with like silver and gold kind of accents. It's a little bit larger frame, but it sits like lower. I'm not going to show it again, but
yeah, it's fine.
Pretty cool reel.
Nice.
And it casted pretty well.
Nice.
Let's see what else we got for question. Let me get some of these. Okay, Frederick question: how did you and Dizzle meet? From Frederick Correa, I think you say it. We met. Let's see. I think we met. Oh, was at work? Duh, we worked together.
Yeah,
we worked together.
God, that had to have been
2003. Was
it 2003?
Yep, 2003. I had just moved up to go to college. And so 20 years ago, that's the 20 Debo and Dizzle anniversary. My golly. Stubby, isn't that something? Are you excited?
That's crazy.
Did you know that? Did you know I knew Uncle Dizzle for 20 years?
He's all hopped up on Mountain Dews.
Oh,
Stubbins.
Baby, Mr. Stubbins. Yep, so we worked together. We boxed together for a while, kickboxing. Then we hung out on the weekends. We were both going to a community college here. I did my what do you call it? Your not under credits, whatever those things are.
Yeah.
Gen Ed or general credits. And then I went to a different college. He moved to Arizona. So we kind of fell out of touch for a long time. You were down there. How long?
It was a little over a year, I think. And then, came back, and it was just like one of those things that was like really before social medias were kind of even a thing at that point in time. Not that either one of us do a whole lot of on there-ness, but we did that. And then randomly one night I was at a friend's house down where Debo lives and eating sushi, and he happened to be in there too, and just started talking. And I was like, oh yeah, my buddy helps me cheat at fishing and makes me real good at it because his grandpa got a farm pond. Check this out.
I was like, I like fishing too. I just started getting back into it. I took a long time off for doing, boxing, kickboxing, MMA for like 13 years, really. And it was, I would fish every few months, go out once. We'd go to the river. Some of the guys I worked with like to river fish. We'd go down there and throw the old poles. But then me and Dizzle started fishing, and hell, the rest is history. Marcus Mitchell, a new member. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Mike Vogel, another good cat, Iowa guy. Speaking of thanks, thank you, Debo. I found your channel, the content in this community early in the quarantine times, and it renewed my love for fishing in the outdoors. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Mike. You're a good cat. We talk back and forth. That's the cool thing about social media. There's a bunch of like bull crap, obviously, on social media, and just so many sour, bitter people. Like I was looking at some of the Iowa game stuff and some of the Iowa women's game after they played. It's like, dude, what the hell is wrong with people? They're just, I don't get it. Go do something productive, I guess, is what I would say.
Right.
Chris, question: what is your favorite Black Friday purchase? I didn't buy anything for myself this Black Friday. My old man's probably watching, so I'm not going to say, but I got him his gift.
Oh,
I saved 100 and some doll hairs on it.
pause that answer to that question. What did he say? What did he say after last week's live? Did he
Oh, I
watch
told
it?
him. So I was like, yeah. I was like, Dad, did you watch live? He's like, no, we were. I don't remember what they were doing. It's like, what? I'm like, one, support your son, jerk.
Yeah.
Two, I'm like, I had a poll of like 200 and I think 20 people voted, and only 2 people said no, they don't want to see you on a live. I said, isn't that awesome? He said, what the hell did 2 people say no for? And I said, and somebody asked that in the chat, and I said, they thought that was you, and that was Papa Debo and Mama Debo that both voted no, so you don't have to go on. Because Dad's the type of jerk that would be like, oh, I'll go on if it's 100% vote. Oh, 2 no, sorry. And that was
Yeah.
him and Mom that probably voted. So yeah, we'll see. We'll try to get him on one of these nights. He's a funny dude. It would be fun. My old man gave me so much crap growing up. And now that I'm, older, I don't miss a chance to give him crap and poke fun of him. Let's see. Patrick, what to throw in cold water? Lake had 0 activity.
Yeesh.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Slowing down, man. Really, really, really slowing down, like to a painstakingly slow. Like when you throw a Ned rig out, Ned rig is one of my crutch baits for cold weather, suspending jerk bait, or really slow sinking jerk bait. Anything that you can keep there in front of them for an extended period of time, or when they're looking down at a Ned rig. And I'm talking about casting it out and bringing it in and taking 4 or 5 minutes to get it back to like barely working it, and really trying to figure out what once you get a couple bites, trying to focus on that instead of hitting all the dead space spots that normally work for you, or this summer I killed him here, does not at all mean they're going to be there now. So once you find that pattern, trying to stick to that and cut out a bunch of the dead stuff.
I know.
In
I
between.
don't think we were texting earlier this week, weren't we, Debo? And I sent you a few pictures, didn't I? We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, you did some.
was-
You did some. So I said Dizzle never throws a swim jig, and after I said that, then he makes a purpose to every time he goes out throw a swim jig and send me a picture, say, "I never throw a swim jig, huh?"
This was a crazy
Okay,
outing. It
bro.
was super nice. I mean, it had to have been mid 60s that day, but windy as all get out. I was trying I actually had I had a Ned rig tied on with Debo. You ready? I even tied on a leader to my spinning combo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did it
That's how
stay on when
serious I
you
was.
casted it?
It did, 100%.
Win-win
Um,
situation.
so I was seriously trying to make it happen, and getting no bites. It's just kind of similar. I couldn't get anything to bite. I was literally telling myself to slow down, and out loud I was telling myself to do that, and still wasn't working. And I went around the other side of the lake and happened to be a nice wind-blown cove, and once again, chatterbait for the win. I caught 3, 4 plus. I don't remember how many it was. It was at least 4 back to back to back within an hour, and then it went dead, and I left.
Dead. Gone. Yeah.
Mhm.
Weather now, so many ups and downs, and I'm obviously not a pro, but it can be tough, man, when the cold fronts start coming in, especially as a bank angler, I'll say.
Mhm.
Going out with Brando on his boat, seeing the live scope and stuff, like being able to see fish is completely different. Like when me and Dizzle go out and do, ice fishing, you might see fish, come in on your Vex, but it's like, do they want to
Mhm.
bite or not? No, but at least you can see they're there. When you're just bank fishing, trying to figure out a pattern, that can be rough in the really, really cold water, because they usually don't want something really fast moving. When you're vertical jigging, ice fishing, you can wait for fish to come through, and you're just, barely working this thing. Will they eat? Absolutely. They're eating all year. Their
Mhm.
metabolism slows way down, so they don't have to eat. They only have to eat a fraction of what they had to in the summer to keep weight on. Um, they're not warm-blooded like us, so their body's not continuously warming up and going. When the water chills down, that's their body temperature. So yeah, just really, really, really slowing that down, or going to different stuff. Like, I don't know. I know it's, bass fishing is our primary thing, but going to the docks and stuff and crappie fishing, with like an ultralight off the docks and stuff, or if you have some wood piles submerged, trout fishing, stock trout fishing, people make fun of it, but if you just like to go out and catch fish, it's a blast. They fight like hell, get a little ultralight. And I think that's a perfect segue into this. I'm trying to go through questions here. Trevor, yeah, Black Friday sales. I didn't get anything. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I did not buy a single thing on Black Friday. Not a single
Yeah,
thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I really tried to dial it back this year, and that's why I'm giving stuff away. I've got so much more here. I need to do more. I got sidetracked with the fish tanks over there, moving stuff, hatching little baby fish. I had a wild hair up my butt and was switching tanks around and stuff. But so we're talking about finesse stuff. Let's get into this next bag. So this is finesse. This is going to be a mix of things. Some of these I might have used a couple out of. You know, some of these are completely brand new. But trying to load this up, and I was looking for worms. I'm going to throw some more worms and swim baits in here, but I couldn't find them. So some HD tackle Helgramites. These things are really neat on like an EWG Ned rig. Both times I threw these are a little bit bigger. These are the 4-inch, I think. So not crazy finesse, 5-inch. Not crazy finesse, but I mean, it's just a real small, it could mimic a leech, mimics, you know, a Helgramite, obviously really good. Both times I threw it, I caught snapping turtles on them. So apparently snapping turtles really like them. I think I did catch a couple little bass, but kind of a neat little lure. Threw some of those in.
They have amazing movement too. Amazing.
Yeah, they're so like long, and that's what I was going to tell you or tell people. And on the back, it's kind of cool. They show you can shaky head it as what they, you know, recommend. I always think that's helpful when they show what they recommend of here's how to rig it, here's what hook, you know, for newer people getting into. But yeah, so the body is, I don't know if this is going to show, maybe on my forehead there we go.
Oh yeah.
So the body is like segmented, so it really like it's so limp, it just really wants to, might even work as like a chatterbait trailer or something. I don't know, I never tried that. But so some of those, I've got some TRD hogs, nothing new. These are in molting craw, which is a really neat color. Got all those kind of different speckles in them. They're kind of like a two-legged Ned rig bait. Some swim baits. These are, they say they're for trout. I put some of these on, I want to say a chatterbait, 3.5-inch, and they looked really good. These, I never threw these. These are fried chicken, kind of a bone color with a chartreuse tail.
How big were those?
3.5-inch.
Just a touch over a Debo finger, huh?
Yep, just a hair over a Debo finger. Some of the little troopers, if you've never tried these in this rusty craw, absolutely awesome. They nailed that color. Tiny little Ned rig type deal.
What just that solid color all the way around?
No, so they're like a brown,
Black?
like a rusty craw on top, that brownish rusty color, and then the bottom is that kind of tannish.
Tan.
They have like bluish orange flake in it.
Okay. I used to throw something like that, except for the top was more of like a black, like a solid black, and crushed them.
Some 4-inch bubblegum generals. 4-inch wacky worm is probably my favorite size to throw. I have some of these that are some Gander exclusives. This was, I shouldn't say exclusives, but Gander sale. Take a drink.
Is that a hair jig spinner?
Little 1/4 ounce underspin Roadrunner for you old cats. Remember the Roadrunner, but it's a bucktail, so it's hair with some flashaboo in it. Kind of a cool finesse approach. Man's Baby 1-, awesome for bank anglers, only goes down like a couple-ish feet max. So if you're having trouble fishing a crankbait from the bank, perfect one to put on there. For your spinners, or for your swim baits, I got some little finesse underspins, 3/16, couple jigs, and probably my favorite color that Dirty Jigs makes is this pond bug. Can't really tell, but it's like a purpley with greenish flake in it. Green pumpkin, so it's like a June bug green pumpkin mix, and then I think this one's just green pumpkin. So a couple little finesse flipping jigs in there, kind of a finessey bag here. Some more swim bait heads. These are some of the owner round 1/16 ounce for the little ones. A little Booyah Pond Magic spinner bait. Dizzle, I know you've caught a 5-pounder on one of those, haven't you?
Yeah,
one of your first on a little.
It was.
Little one like that. Okay, so this is what I was looking for, some of the worms. This will go with, these are some of like the old Giggy heads. So it's a shaky head. You just push the plastic into this larger black piece here. Texbos it. Texas kind of rig it in there. I got a super small popper. Look at this thing. It's only
ridiculous.
A little over 1 Debo finger segment, so just over 1 inch. Also a Gander Mountain grab was one of these little jerk baits, $5. I think I got this for Oh, this is one of the ones I got for free, actually. It was like 5 of them clipped together, and they just went, the girl went beep and made the sound of beep and just threw it in my bag. 5 of these because they were tired of ringing stuff up. And I think that's it. Oh, and then some of these. So if you want to do like a drop shot or whatever, these are the Zoom and the Arkansas Shiner, which I've said so many times is my favorite on a little Ned rig or like a drop shot. These things are absolutely awesome. So this is kind of a finesse bag. So this one I will get going here. I'm trying to do some themes on some of these because I know everybody doesn't like the same thing. Try to do some different stuff. Make it fun. And there's probably no way I'm ever going to get all this back in the bag.
Is there a weight on that small popper? Did you see by chance?
Oh, I have no clue. No, you're going to have to
didn't.
throw it super finesse. I don't even
Oh, yeah.
know. There is a weight. I'm sure it weighs something, but I couldn't tell you what. So that doesn't help at all, does it? Okay, let's see. Can I go back on the giveaway?
Oh, jeez.
Ah! Help me, Tom Cruise.
Help my baby Jesus.
Took me back to Microsoft Start.
Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
30 degrees here in Cedar Rapids today.
You got another donation, and I've thrown a bunch of questions in there for you too.
Okay. Start collecting for this one.
Finesse.
All right, there we go. Finesse. 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 Let's see. Okay, so Dizzle threw some in. Liza with the $10 bomb to start off. Thank you. Okay, thanks for your advice on my Black Friday gear grab. Scott, what were you looking for? I don't remember, Scott. Were you looking for the...
Was it the reel, maybe? A reel per chance?
Amber Crowley, $5 for the snow dog. Or you want me to get a snow dog?
Yo.
Dude, I want to get one so bad. I'm not even going to lie. Amber, thank you so much for the $5 bomb. I will drink to that. No, you don't like the snow dogs?
I don't. No, I don't know. I have no experience with them.
They look so fun. Can't really justify getting one of those when I could get a 4-wheeler and use it all year, but dude, they look so fun for ice fishing. I'm not even going to lie.
That's what everybody
mildly
says about
obsessed with
four-wheelers.
wanting to get one.
Finesse.
Let's see. Bunch of congrats in here. Okay, so Dizzle threw some in. Okay, Cisco, would Stubby be a baitcaster, spinning, or spin cast type of dude? Let's see. What would you be, Stubbins dog? I don't know. That's a weird question. If he were out fishing with me, he probably wouldn't do any of that. He'd be like the little kid that was into stuff the whole time, especially when there's like little animals that he could try to attack. He likes to kill little varmints, so like squirrels, rabbits.
I feel like he would
squirrels.
have what the Zebco push button,
probably,
and just be running, just cast it in once and running, just like you said, chasing after something, and like you yell at him, be like, Stubbins, you got to bite. And he just runs and cannonballs into the water instead of grabbing his combo to reel it in.
Also from Cisco, what inspired you to name your dog Stubby? So his name, we adopted him from the shelter up by, look, there he is. Why is your name Stubby Dog? His actual name, come here. His actual name was Sergeant Stubby, but some moron prick, no, I don't want to play, cut his ears off with scissors. So his ears are all stubby. If you can't tell them, they're not normal at all. They're like not normal. What's the word? No, I don't want to play. Even. They're not even, and they're not cropped up at points. Like when people crop dogs' ears.
Dobermans, yeah.
Yeah, they cut them up, crop them up at a point. Yeah, literally, like you can see where somebody was holding his ear like this, got partway through, and then had to do it again. No, I don't want to play. Get out of here. But anyway, he's such a cool dog. I am extremely attached to that little dude.
A very violent, dangerous tail, though. Just
yeah,
stay away from that thing.
Once he gets that tail going. Nick Rodriguez, how far will you drive to fish new water? I'm going to leave this up here for just a second. We already have 100. And, does that say 170? Holy crap. We got a bunch of finesse friends in here. 170. Actually, you know what? I'll give final call here and we'll run through this question. Then I'll pull it. How far will I drive? It just depends. Like, I wish I could drive more. like it's kind of hard with the girls stuff and like planning weekends. I could definitely do that more. It's
Mhm.
just like it takes time, the whole planning deal. And I'm not a huge like out ahead of time planner. So it's like if it's Dizzle and I going to fish somewhere, I would
Yeah.
say an hour or two is kind of our tops what we drive.
I mean, I'm a little bit different. It's the planning part of it necessarily isn't, that important to me. It's more of the juice has kind of got to be worth the squeeze, type of thing. It's got to be at least a talked up body of water. And then I could probably easily be, talked into it without very much anything really. Um, but I mean, that one day we went to Sagima. I think that was I don't know, that was 2 hours, I believe, south of Debo, and it was an hour for me. We didn't drive 3 hours all in one day, but we drove 2 hours. I mean, there's no problem with I would say 2, 3 hours without question, I would do, hands down.
Oh, also, sorry, real quick. This fell out of that bag. This was also a Gander Mountain steel. One of the old
Mm.
little Rebel micro
With a
crawfish with a single hook. Does it say the
single
weight?
hook on it, huh?
1/16 ounce. So I bet that
Ooh,
popper is 1/16 ounce. So for all you BFS nerds or just the
ooh.
regular old uh, not underspin ultralight people, that'll be for you. Okay, so what does my regular bluegill setup look like? Actually, I did this. It was an unboxing, but I'm going to show this
Mm,
Harm's Lures. I'll show some of these and talk about some of the old bluegill, crappie, panfish fishing that we used to do because I used to do that a ton.
yep,
I'm going to pull this giveaway real quick and then we'll talk about that. Okay, so for that finesse bag, I am sharing, right? I did click
run
share.
it,
Okay.
yep. Run it, run it, run it, run it.
The winners. Oh, I forgot to write down. That was
Oh,
not a Bob. Okay, so
yes.
Chris Broom.
Chris, are you here? Chris. Chris, are you present?
Bruin.
Crescent. Chris. Chris. Still,
Okay, so yeah, you must
oh,
be present to win the
Chris
whole night.
is
As we're
here.
drawing these, you can't just enter and
Chris is here.
okay, Chris is here.
812. Yep.
So both of you fellows, not a Bob and Chris, both of you please email me debosfishing@gmail.com with your information and a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you. So we don't have people trying to take advantage of the system here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our first two winners there, I'll leave that up here for just a second. So finesse fishing. Yeah, we used to do, and honestly, one of my favorites, I'm sure there's some in here, this size, and there was actually, it was a man's auger tail. Oh, those aren't even, these are curly tails. I thought these were curly tails. So something like this. That's not even it. There might not be any there's not even any curly tails in here. Hold on, I might have to grab some of my stuff, but
Oh,
this is a really cool
oh,
box
golly.
because dude, Harm's Lures, I don't know if he's still in business. Super nice guy. We chatted back and forth when he sent me this, but just a bunch of little neat things that I had never seen. And I don't keep up with like the crappie lures, but this one's got a couple little dingly legs and a dangler in back here, dangling that thing around. Kind of looks like a beaver. Got some of those. Some of these had flames on the back of them, and he did these all himself. Yeah, we'll have to check it out. harmslures.com. But he made all these. These have like the little paddle tails. So these are like the Strike King. I want to say Strike King something has like these. So it's got the little like boot tail on the back, but it's like a grub front. Stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of here. I'll give this whole thing away. He also, which is really nice for somebody starting out, or if you just want to set, it's got 1/8 ounce jig heads that he shot and 1/16 ounce jig heads that he shot. So you've got, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like 10 in each. There's also some cool little like spike deal things. But for me growing up, hands down, a curly tail, like a twister tail or the man's auger tail. I'll show you one of those, but he's got these little spikes. So remember when I said like fishing those docks? This is like an oversized ice fishing lure. Dang, you know, bouncing this off the side of a dock or something like that. Bunch of stuff in here. He's got a bunch of different ones, bunch of different colors. Some more of those paddle tails. Here's some of these. And like I said, I don't know if he makes his own molds. I don't know anything about this, but
Do
look at those. They have like
use those ones that I
flame.
picked up like a whole sheet for you that one day?
Oh god, dude. Yeah, I actually just saw those. I think I put them back there. As far as finesse bluegill, and these are cool because you can pull these apart. So you can leave them together or pull like the little flame deals apart. So it's got two different. Yeah, it looks like a flame, like a little rocket ship. So this will be we'll do a crappie one here next. So I want to grab a couple of those. Dizzle, if you've got any questions or anything you're looking at here.
I was trying to see. There's
this comes in a box. I'll have to find a box. This comes in a Plano. He did all this and it all. So I'll do this for you. That'll get you completely going. That's a really cool little set.
Right.
Let me see. If
that's my go-to at one point in time. It almost had like a boot tail, but it wasn't a boot tail per se. And it was basically it looked like a little tiny stick bait, but it had like a weird little tail to it, and they usually came individually packaged, I believe. I can't for the life of me remember what the heck they were, but those were always dynamite with a super, super tiny little jig head to it. I honestly didn't do a whole lot of, panfish only fishing. There were times, it was at least once a year, where I would go and do like a legit, crappie only, outing. Those were always fun, but usually those always turned into crappie fishing with more bass fishing on the side, and instead of, the actual crappie outing itself. And he's back. And he's muted. Debo, you mute yourself?
Thank you. I did. Sorry. I was saying I've got to get my comments back when I hit the banner thing. Okay, so one of mine and Dad's favorites. No clue who made these. These might have been a Bass Pro like special thing. I can't tell you how many fish we caught on these. Dad and I were just talking about these the other day. And me and a subscriber were talking about making your own colors. And back in the day, instead of buying, we would just buy the white ones. So this is like one of the old slide out things of my old crappie stuff. You would put this in the chartreuse or the pink or the orange, and after a while it would soak up that color and they would bleed into each other. So instead of having a white one of these, you could make your own chartreuse, or I don't know if I have any here. These two, no clue who made these. I think it was another Bass Pro thing, but it was a hole in the front. You would put a tube, because I used to fish tubes a lot as well. So just these little things, little micro tubes. You would put a tube jig in the nose of it, and it had a curly tail on it. Freaking awesome. Those things caught the piss out of them.
I believe I found my go-to was sorry to interrupt you there. I think it was called it was a mini mite jig. Mini mite. A cubby fishing tackle.
Huge man's guy back in the day. You probably can't see it on there, but it says man's. This is the man's auger tail. Probably my favorite little curly tail because it didn't have the regular like tight kick. It would have this long like auger, hence auger tail kind of look to it, like it was like drilling. Yeah, there's just some of the few of mine, a little curly tail or something like this, like these. I mean, just throwing a little, Mr. Twister. I can't tell you how many fish, have been caught on
Mr.
one
Twister.
of those. Mr. Twister. And then there was even, funny things like that. I don't think I ever caught anything on this, but these little baby like sunfish with a curly tail, little baby bluegill. Yeah, some cool stuff back in the day. And I also used to like to throw these. I don't know if people remember these, but instead of just like, so if you had a jig head and you're like, man, I wish this had some flash to it, you would get some of these like on a beetle spin, or there was different ones you could pick up. I can't get this undone here. You put one of these on with a little flashy beetle spin things, clip it around. You just put it through the eye of your jig and put it on like that, and you can fish it like a little tiny spinnerbait. Pretty cool. But okay, let's see. We'll get a crappie giveaway going for that one for anybody that's into crappie fishing right now or just likes to do finesse.
DeBo.
Yo.
Let me show this. This was my dynamite go-to
Oh, perfect. Okay.
little rig
Oh,
here.
and the tube. I remember those.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So yeah, these were the cool thing about them is they did come individually packed in a tube themselves.
Yeah, little
So
tiny tube.
yeah, they were super convenient. You didn't have to worry about a whole lot of rusting hooks and things like that. They came in different colors, but this was my actual go-to color, the pink head, white body. I don't know how many I've caught with these, but there's more than one, and no, probably not that many actually. Didn't do a whole lot, but yeah, these were always something that would catch them. My dad used to tell me he would take these trout fishing, and so they were
Mm,
pretty good for that too. It's too bad these are
sure.
only pictures fine, but yeah, little
Yeah, they have
little
like a little
club
club
type.
tail.
Yeah, tons of action for such a little bait too. All right, there you go.
Thanks, feller.
Hmm.
Theron. ALF always has the best Black Friday sales. There was a couple other people asking about where did I get sales from. Yeah, I was a little underwhelmed by Tackle Warehouse's decision to do like the different week stuff. I thought that was kind of dumb. I didn't like it. So each week you had like I don't know who won, or who had one like last week, like line I think was one of them. So it had a whole bunch of line. One
Mm,
was like plastics. But then if you miss out on the week, it's done. So it's like okay, you missed the line one. Well, on to the next thing. So no, kind of dumb. I didn't like that. And I don't know if they just couldn't keep up, throughout the year or what the deal was. But yeah, American Legacy had some good sales. Omnia actually had a really good one. It was like the early November, the pre-Black Friday sale. We had like 15-20% off on stuff. I did grab a couple things in at the beginning of November. The first week I don't remember what I re-upped on, but it wasn't anything new. It was just like I grabbed underspins, owner flashy swimmers, some fish head underspins. I don't remember what else. I think some of the Evo chatterbaits for that one. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Let's see. Oh, whoops. I need to share here. So Crappie, hashtag Crappie. That'll be for that Crappie box, not mine. Sorry, you're not getting my old box, but for this one, Harms Lures. I don't know if Harms Lures is still making stuff, but really, really, really cool little thing. I used one bag of them and caught some fish on it. And it's like they can't be sitting around here for something that cool. Really appreciate
hmm.
people that do that, send stuff in. And when the people send these in, it's not like, they're not saying, hey, do this as a promotion for me. It's my way of trying to help give back to, the smaller companies and, the people making stuff. I appreciate that a lot. So
It's DEBO'S way or the highway, he says.
yeah. Question: Gators, chatterbait rod. Which one do you use? I use the St. Croix Victory Chatter 7.3 heavy moderate. Normally around here for bank fishing, I do a 7 foot or a seven. What one did I use this year? Last year was the TFO. I used a ton, which was a composite glass and graphite mixture. But usually like a 7-ish 2 is my overall favorite length. Medium heavy, more of like a moderate fast. So I do like mine. There's two different like it's funny when you get into chatterbaits because there's people that say got to fish it on glass, has to be like real moderate bendy. Then you've got the other folks that nope, you want graphite, you want a fast action, it needs to be a heavy. I think it kind of depends on where you fish and how you fish, but I like more of a moderate fast, and that's for any of my moving baits, swim jig, chatterbait, spinnerbait. I like to have just a little bit of a delay so it's not super stiff. The moderate means instead of it being like an extra fast, just the tip of it bends. Whereas a moderate fast, it bends way down more toward the backbone. So having that extra kind of delay into it, the fish can kind of grab it and your rod starts to bend before you actually get that good feel into it before you're pulling into them. Whereas like with a jig or something, I want it to be faster. So if I'm throwing out into the rocks and stuff, I don't get caught and have to pull out of the rocks and it feels like a pool noodle trying to get it out of there. I like a crisper rod where you can just barely, pop over stuff because you can wait for the fish to get it. You can feel, does it have my Ned rig? Does it have my jig? And then bam, really set the
Mhm.
hook. Whereas it's a moving bait, oftentimes they're just coming out and reacting to it. So that's me. There's not a right or wrong way. This year I used, God, what did I use? I used that toward the end of the year. I used that new Abu Garcia Pro one. Really like that rod. Didn't use it toward the beginning of the year. I wish I would have. I forgot I had it. I'll be honest. I'm trying to think. I used the Monster Bass rod I used actually I had the cash and chatterbait rod that I used last year as well, and really like that one.
That
Actually,
was
that
the
was
one
2
that
years ago.
it was a partnership with Z-Man Chatter, wasn't it? Was that the one?
I think it does say it on there. Yeah, I think it says chatterbait rod with the Z-Man logo. Yeah, and we can look here real quick.
Red accents, I think. Is that the one?
It's the gray. I got the icon one. It's like $1.99. I got it on sale. When Tackle Warehouse had the nice sales, and they might do a better Christmas sale. I think that's when I got it, because the Christmas sale because I'm going to be doing some of my best and worst lures, some of my best and not so best gear, budget, and then kind of a higher priced one as well. Because I got that Arc, is it Catalyzer? I think $50-ish rod. Normally I got it for $35 plus the Abu Garcia Max X or whatever, $35, so $70 combo, and that rod is awesome. For a budget rod, $35. It's really, really hard to beat that one. Let me see here real quick, Gators. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna come back. We'll come back and give away that Crappie box after I check this real quick.
It sure is a crappy box.
I got a Crappie box there, Dizzle. Let's see. Warehouse of Tackle. It was, and I don't like the new website either. I know we've already said it. I'm not trying to rip on them.
I thought that's what you were going to say earlier when you were like, oh, in Tackle Warehouse, when you were talking about their different days or weeks or whatever that they did. I thought you were going to be like, hey, their website sucks.
Wasn't Core Icon. These used to be $1.99. Not Crankbait. Do they have one that says Chatterbait? I guess now they don't even have it. I want to say it was it was a weird thing where it was, I think, in like the Crankbait deal, but they had a Chatterbait one specific. But anyway, it says it on the handle. It says Z-Man Chatterbait rod type deal on it. I forget, but anyway, yeah, I like that. The Kevlar grips really took getting used to. Can we zoom in on that?
You should be able to just click on it, shouldn't you?
There.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's like this woven, and they're hard. So when I first handled it, I'm like, God, these rods, like this handle sucks. The rod felt good, but yeah, the handle is gross. And then after I used it more, I'm like, oh, this actually feels good. It's not the soft, spongy, as I guess I was expecting it to be like an EVA or like the EVA underneath with a win grip, where it's kind of that soft, spongy, grippy. It's not, it's hard, but held up really well. Took a little bit to get used to. Yeah, I like the rods.
Debo, did you know there are 321 people currently watching?
Woo! Love it.
Dang.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
See, that's why I'm saying thanks to all of you. I've been doing this for how long, and I still have people coming back to watch me every week.
215 likes. Good job, folks.
Love it. Love it.
Good. Oh, geez. I'll just kick my camera. And the winner is
Brandon. Oh, Brandon, my guy from out west. Brandon and I think he got rid of pretty much all social media. We text back and forth. He's an OG follower of DEBO'S Feeshin.
Brandon, congratulations.
What do you think of this, Moose? I don't know why he gets all upset when, see, I'm not paying attention to him, and he's down here whining. You're a moose. No, get out of here.
He's like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here.
All my cords. Get out of here. You're a horse. You're a 60-pound lap dog. He hates it when I'm not. We fell asleep on the couch today. His favorite thing for sure to do is cuddle and be petted. Brandon, are you here? Email me.
Looking.
I know you do have my phone number, but email me, debosfishing@gmail.com. Let's see. Oh my God, I am so far behind. Thanks for, okay, so that was Scott's. I got that one. I am so far behind on comments. 7:55. Only a half hour behind.
Oh, geez. I threw a couple questions into the thing for you as well. Not that you just want to skip everything else, but
let's see. Dizzle in the hizzle.
Brandon is here. 829.
All right. Brandon, OG. Oh yeah. Omnia had gift cards, 60 what is it, $50 for $60 card. So essentially you get $10 free just by buying the card, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's see. Let's get into the next bag here. We'll do a quick look. So, Brandon, you are the winner. Go to this screen. Okay, so I did write Brandon down. That's the crappie box. I'm not going to write on the box. Let's see. Let's go.
The
What was
crappy
this one? That was the finesse one. That is another reel we'll do. I found that I hadn't even opened. Let's do one of the boxes. So now this is not a monster bass. I think one of them is a bunch of monster bass lures I had left over. So I put in one. Not that they're bad or anything. I just had like 5 boxes sitting down here. This is not a monster bass box. I mean, it is the box that I'll ship it in. These are nice because you can ship it. But this is one I put together just of kind of some random stuff. So 1/4 ounce cross-size jig. Really like these jigs. Just a little finesse deal. This is black and blue. Like that one a lot. Some of the first gen Flash X's, the underspin or the the overspin or the jig, swim jig. It's like essentially a finesse spinnerbait, kind of like the old Beetle spins, little swim jig with a flash on it. I have really like those. This one, okay, so this is one, and then also here's a hybrid hustler from Beast Coast, 5/16, because I've got some finesse trailers down here. This is one I never heard anybody talk about. I threw them once and the action was amazing. Then I got it snagged, both of them that I had. I had one of these. So the swinging rugby heads. If you've never used these, it's a jig head that is on like a ring. So the jig head can do all this back here and the hook can swing around and do its own stuff. It's like the biffle bug, what they call it, the hard head. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it. The Jean LaRue. These are... I should throw these more. I never throw this rig a lot or at all. I don't throw this rig at all. Any type of like hunting head, hard head, whatever the real name for this is. I don't know. I need to get my comments back here.
Brandon just made a comment at 8:31. Brandon made a comment. Debo, donate the box to another fan, sir.
Oh,
just want to confirm.
We can do that, Brandon, if that's what you want me to do. So look at these things. These underwater look freaking crazy. There was also a video on these. What made me buy them was, I don't know, Tackle Warehouse or Culprit or, somebody. So it's the Culprit Flutter Craw. If you've never seen these things, 4-inch. And this color is amazing. Bama bug. And not all Bama bugs are created equal. I like the Bama bug where it's the June bug, green pumpkin. Some of them are like that orange brown, like the Bama, Flora Bama, or whatever they call it. I don't know. This Bama bug color, when they do this one, awesome. But this thing on the back of that, these things are moving around. These little legs are moving around, and it literally looks like some sort of bug skittering. So this is one. And also, was this thanks, Gander. Thanks, old Gander. 569. I think I got him for, I don't even know.
Brandon did confirm, yes. Run that box for somebody else.
Well, dang it,
Not
Brandon.
sure how.
I appreciate you. I can do that. Let's see. Can I do this?
Should just be able to run her again, yeah?
Draw again. There we go. But anyway, these things are super, super cool. Didn't fish them much. They'd be cool on, a jig or a Texas rig or something. Daniel Hendrick. Are you here?
Daniel Hendrick. Daniel. You really should have just, I don't know how you would have done it, but done a let's go Brandon hashtag. Just saying. It would have been a good time. I don't even know if he's got his headphones in or if he's just ignoring me. He likes to do both. He says, I do it to him all the time. Look at this.
Since tonight's a night of giving, Brandon, still send me an email. And if you have any ideas for something you'd like, if you want like a Debo custom or something, you've been an OG follower forever, my friend. So I would be happy to give you, if you want a swim bait or crankbait out there in the West. I don't know what the hell you're throwing if you're into big baits now or what. But speaking of, here's kind of a big bait.
Still looking for Daniel. Daniel, if you're here, as I was speaking, 8:34, Daniel is here. Debo, you want to throw up your email address again real quick? There you go.
Yep. This is from Thunderhawk. This is the Cha-Cha Glide 5-inch. So it's pretty much like a river to sea S-Waver type, that type of look to it. Had multiple follows on these, on one of these one day. Didn't catch anything because I suck at swimbait fishing. But it is a cool little glide bait, and they're not too expensive either. I think they're only like $15. It's a Jerry Rego design. I also threw in one of these from them. They're camel craws. That's the June bug. It's like a rage cross. They look pretty cool. They've got that clubby type of
little accent on the pincer.
And I can pull that down. There we go. Yeah, they've got the clubby type of claw deals. Kind of like a straight king deal. Those are pretty neat. Let's see what else is in this box. Did I throw in a crankbait for spring Feeshin? Give you one of the new Rocco 5s. Little red, what do they call this? Classic craw. I was thinking rust craw, but one of those. Also another one that I think kind of used to be more of an older favorite. I don't hear as much people talk about them now, but the flapping hog. Yeah, flapping hog from Yamamoto. I caught a bunch of these, or caught a bunch of fish on one of these on a Tokyo rig one day. It's been a long time ago. Granted, they were all like £1.50, but yeah, it's got cool, like, this really waves in back. It's not like super flappy, but it's got a very wavy, flowy kind of type look.
I remember pulling some of those arms off and using it more as a like a trailer. Yep. But yeah, they work, definitely work.
Let's see what else is in here. Oh, so the reason I found some of these tiny, I used to throw net bait, the pack of chunks. That used to be my go-to for a long time. Haven't thrown those for I don't know how long, but that's the summer cross. You're like green pumpkin, more of like a chartreusey kind of belly. Some TRDs in the PBJ, because I never throw PBJ. And I'm figuring,
you don't like that color. I
really don't.
Great luck on that
PB&J
color.
fan. And then last in here are some 3.8-inch smoked cinnamon Kitex.
Sounds delicious.
So it's a good, kind of bluegill, dark on one side, like kind of green pumpkin
on the other.
All sorts of deliciousy goodness in there. All right, so this will be the next one here, and like I said, there's no way I'm going to get all these packed back in here.
Yeah, impossible.
Okay, so that'll be the next one. This will just be, I don't know. What should we call it here?
That box is basically the exact same thing as like a sleeping bag or a tent or something. You're never getting it back in the package.
Right. Yes. Let's do giveaway tool. And then we'll do hashtag bass.
Bias.
Let's get some more questions. Let's do some more Q&A here. Do we have any of this or that? Punch in the house. Cheers. Punch, you old dog. What'd you get for any Black Friday sales? You get anything cool?
Hey, 8:30. You had another donation. 8:30, 8:31, one of the two.
Oh my gosh, I'm back at 7:59.
Oh Lord.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to jump ahead. I'm sorry if somebody asks questions in a half hour. Which,
and again, I've got a bunch sent over to you as well.
Okay, so that was Amber's for the snow dog, dude. I want a
show dog. It's okay.
Oh, is that what it said? Was show dog?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said snow dog. Gosh,
yeah,
dang it.
We got him covered.
He is a show dog. That must have been for Mr. Stubbins. He's a beautiful little boy. Hashtag gander. Yes. I do love me some gander sales. Okay. What time did you say? 8 what?
Between 8:30, 8:31. It didn't tell me the time when I looked at it. And I can't get back to it now.
It's going to be easier just to go backwards this way, I think. Maybe not. Nope. It only allows me to go back to... I don't know. What was the question?
It wasn't a question. It was just a donation, and
that should be in my... Does it show in my start? Oh, yeah, it does. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Pooch guy. Tackle Warehouse new Black Friday sale blows. He donated for that. Yeah, it does. It does suck, Pooch. You're right. I don't know what we talked about that earlier. You must have just joined. I don't know why they did the weekly thing. I hope the Christmas sale is better. And maybe sales were down. I know the fishing industry took a huge. It was kind of like in Pew Pew land when Ammo was so hard to get. You know, they were bumping that up trying to get, which I don't know. That's probably not going to have the same recourse as this because it seems like that's always out of demand. But, you know, when that demand goes up so much, you can't keep up with it. You can't keep up with it, right? And you're so backstocked. And I know in the fishing industry, especially, they were really hindered by stuff coming from overseas, whether that's Japan or China. Getting it over on the crates, you know, things were sitting out there in these big shipping containers for months upon months upon months. Still couldn't get them in. Once they got all that caught up, you know, they really bumped up production, doing different things and different, you know, bringing things over. Some of those crates, they said like crate shipping was astronomical. It was like $2,000 to ship a crate and went up to like $15,000 just to ship a crate. You know, so you look at just that versus, you know, all this other stuff. And I'm not trying to stick up for them or anything. You know, I'm just trying to figure out what, you know, what could cause that, or maybe they just didn't want to do it this year. But yeah, I completely agree. And I partnered up with them, but I think it sucks too. So
Somebody had said something. I forgot what the actual statement was, but something with the 12 or 25 days of Christmas in correlation with the weekly different things. It was like a combo or something that they're doing this season. I don't remember who said, but
so they're
it
not
was in
doing
the
the Christmas
comments.
stuff. I
I
haven't
think
heard
it
that.
was a little bit of both. They were combining them in some way, shape, or form. I don't remember what the comment was. I just remember seeing it pop up quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's maybe my guess. I'm not sure, but they'll have some good sales, and they have some throughout the year, which is nice. You know, most of the big companies do.
Mhm.
It's always fun to get some, you know, some stuff at the end of the year. But let's see. Is it Augustin Pedraza? Question: Berkeley Flicker Minnow has two colors called Slick Alewife and Purple Blue Green. In what conditions should we? I don't even know what those are,
One
man.
purple blue and one a green one. So there's 3 different ones, I believe, right?
I don't know. So okay, here's
Okay.
my deal. Alewife, if it's that bait fishy color, I would definitely say in the cleaner water when they're targeting, because it looks like, is that a speckled trout you have there? I'm not an inshore guy. People would probably better answer this because it could be different for inshore fish. But I would say when they're really focused on bait, I would go to the alewife type color. Your purple, blue, green one, I'm guessing it's darker. And your dirtier stained water is when I would go to that, something that's going to create an outline, help them stand out. And those
More
fish
of a
might like,
shadowy. Yep.
yeah, might like different colors and stuff. I know, like for walleye and stuff, they like the real bright pink, purple, chartreuse. You know, crappie can be that way too. So I would just say, you know, toss both. Don't be afraid to switch up colors. Let's see. Have you used a 7-foot medium light lunker stick? These are your thoughts. If you're talking about the monster bass rods, it's not the medium light. I don't think I have it down here. I think it's out in the garage. The spinning rod out of all of them, and that's actually going to be one of my best of the year. That's probably my favorite spinning rod of the year, just as a do-it-all. I'm not saying it's the most high price, like the craziest stuff on it. You know, full transparency, they sent that to me for free to try out, and I like it better than the casting rods. All of them have been pretty solid. I haven't had any, you know, technical issues with any of them, breaking, anything like that. Just on the casting rods, they have micro guides, and I'm honestly not a huge micro guide guy because both of those I put for braid because I got the heavier ones. When I first got them from them, they didn't have any of the softer ones. Oh, I take that back. I do like the 7-foot medium. Dizzle and I both have a 7-foot medium from them, which also has the micro guides, but I use mono on it. So that's my top water jerkbait rod, and it's worked perfect for that. But once you get into the heavier stuff where I'm using braid, like the frogging rods, I wanted to try, you know, just to beat them up and see. Again, they held up fine. Nothing broke on them or anything, but I just don't like the micro guides. So, but the spinning rod, I always, which is funny, I always go braid to a leader on my spinning rods, but the line's so small, doesn't matter. So,
Yeah, it's you know, it's one of those where you using it for thicker braid and stuff like that would have more issues with it, but it hasn't bothered me. I definitely like mine and caught a fair amount of fish on it.
JT, damn, dude, he got a good, I don't know how much those are, but any electronics and
Always
stuff have to be pricey, but he scored half off at Pass Pro. Damn,
nice.
good grab. What body of water do you want most to fish that you've not? I've been asked that a lot, and I haven't got to travel enough. Let's see. Let's pull this, and we're at an hour. We've still got a few more giveaways we're going to do here. 335 people watching. Y'all are freaking awesome. So this is for that bass box. I'm not going to go through it again if you all are just joining, but it's got a bunch of random goodies in there. Okay, I am sharing. So this will be for that bass box. But for me, it's always been Lake Fork. Like I haven't got to travel and check these places out. So once I got to a place, that might be a whole different deal. But from what I've heard, Lake Fork, bunch of wood, flipping and pitching. That's my favorite. Obviously I would love to go somewhere froggy, but I don't know like what, probably Gunnersville. Go down to Gunnersville one, spring when that frog bites on would probably be my other big one. I just don't know enough of them, like something like Okeechobee or the Sabine, or God, dude, there's so many of them. Whatever the one is in New York, is it St. Clair, where they just crush the smallies up there? I don't know. For whatever reason, Lake Fork has always been like my dream. That place just always seems like heaven to me. But okay, David, are you here? If you're here, you need to email me. And Dizzle, can you look for him, please?
Yep. Looking, searching, enhance.
David,
yep,
boxes.
David is here.
Get those mixed up. Okay, so this is. I'm dropping stuff. David. Yeah. Just so I don't accidentally mix these up here. Okay, David. Yeah. So how about you, Dizzle? What's yours? What's your dream? Do you have one? I think yours is down south, isn't it?
Yeah, I've like growing up. I'm a little bit older than you are, and watching the fishing shows and what have yous. Like El Salto was like the end all be all for bass fishing for a long time, and that's still one that's always kind of stuck out in my head. I don't think I'll ever probably gonna go out of country to fish, but I would definitely, Fork would be a fun one to fish. There's a bunch of them that would be.
What's the new one now where they go down and catch all? It seems like the OHIV. That seems to be the big one now. Where people go down and catch giants.
But they do like I remember. I think the OHIV
all I see is bass now. I'm gonna go back down.
El Salto. They're both they're deeper water fishing, I believe, and I just don't even know if I'd know where to start. It's a good thing that they do like guide services and stuff like that out there, because I'd just be like, I don't know, I fish just from the bank and call it good, guys. And I don't know what to do with my hands.
That'd be even more rewarding to go down there and do that bank fishing. All these guys in their fancy boats, you're like, oh, I got a 12-pounder from the bank, flipping a War Eagle jig. Mike, White Castle breakfast sandwich is underrated. I've never actually ate at a White Castle. I've had the frozen ones, Natum.
Same.
They were good, but I've never stopped at one or like done a drive-through on any. Let's see. Hawk, he's talking back and forth. Let's see here. Here's an interesting one. Colin, I probably should have proofread this. The industry is about to get even cheaper, y'all. Please stock up now if you can. Do into buy gear. It's going to get really bad for 6 years. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. White Castle, Dizzle. What's your favorite color in the War Eagle heavy finesse jig?
Oh, actually, I think I just responded to that. But I would say it's either going to be the black and blue or the Okeechobee craw. Those are both dynamite colors. Okeechobee craw in general are.
I like the green pumpkin orange one, and then I've got a bunch of them back there. Whatever the green pumpkin purple one is, there's pumpkin candy or something they call it.
There's a pond scum perch too that I like.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, we can't forget.
my favorite for dirty water, which is what do they call it? Black, blue, chartreuse, purple. Yeah. It's like whoever named that one must have just been completely done for the day. It was like, all right, last one to name, guys. I don't know. Black, blue, purple, shirt. I want to go home. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Randall William Sully, question best ideal action and power for Ned rig. What line and test to use with it? I don't know what the ideal is. I like a medium-ish, like a softer medium. So not, spinning rods generally on the side are going to be softer, but something where it's got just a decent tip. So not super stiff. Like what I mean is when you cast it out there, I've got some that are mediums. Again, this is the problem with the industry is there's not a standard to it. So
Mhm.
medium here isn't the exact same as a medium there, but one where you flip it out, it's not so stiff that you're pulling it over rocks and stuff and you can't feel anything. And sometimes that's a weight deal. That means you might need to bump up to 3/16 or a 1/4 ounce for the rod that you're using. You might have some that load it at an eighth or something, right? But when I flip it out there, like a medium-ish to a medium light, depending, but a 1/10 to an 8, when I flip it out there and I'm dragging a 1/10, that tip I can feel that tip moving. I can feel the rocks and stuff, where I can keep bottom contact with it. So it just depends. So like where I'm fishing, bank fishing, a jetty is going to be different than somebody out wading a creek that has a bunch of current where, or river fishing where you need to really get it down and use a heavier weight. Because if you're using a medium light, like that in the current or something, where you're bumping up to like a 1/4 ounce Ned rig head, it's not going to be the same deal. So
And you
just
just get another
overall,
donation.
okay.
FYI.
So just overall for me, medium-ish, medium light. I'm either 10 to 15 pound braid, depending on the braid, to usually an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader is my go-to all the time. Unless I'm
I
around wood
don't
and stuff, I'll go 10-pound.
in tying leaders now, since I've watched a couple of good how to tie Alberto knot videos online. I've gone with a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader just because I can't convince myself that an 8-pound is going to be sufficient enough, and I haven't had any issues with it.
Mike, question: does the feel of cork bother you? Gives me the heebie-jeebies. No, not at all. I'm not really. People ask me that too. I get that question a lot. What's the best handle material? Cork, EVA. The whole thought process is, and it's different for different rods of how I use them. But like for jig or Texas rig, I'm a big line finger. So when the line comes off your reel, actually, shout out to Oklahoma's worst angler and Dizzle. This is for one for you to try. Notice this is a what hand that
Hmm.
is there.
Hmm.
It's a lefty. This is a Zillion. I bought a Zillion from him. He was used, and
Ooh,
people kept trying to cheapskate him, undercut him on what he was selling it for. But I gave him a fair price because he's even got Comexis handles on it, which are like
nice.
$45. So anyway, I'm fingering the line like this. So I have my finger under it. I like to hold it like this, bouncing it this way. The whole thing with cork, and they get into all these different composites and stuff, is you're supposed to be able to feel the vibration in your hand. Things like EVA, some of these other foam, wind, people will say, dampens that and you can't feel the vibration. So it makes it overall less sensitive. I don't know how you really go in to test that. If you have a really
Right.
good rod and you compare cork versus that, am I going to feel any difference if I'm fingering my line, or I don't know. People will talk on that like they know everything on it. And I don't feel confident enough to say one way or another. It's really personal preference. I think when you finger the line like that, it just makes such a difference to me. But there could be other people that say, well, if you have a sensitive rod, you don't need to do that.
Right. I
Sure,
know
true.
personally, I think cork breaks down a lot quicker, obviously,
Got to
just in
seal
my
it.
experience.
I've
Yeah.
never sealed it. Tackle Junkie
Yeah.
Jim has a couple videos on that, and I'd never ever done it. So go look at some of his. I don't even know what he buys. You don't have to use much, so I would think that would last you a little bottle that would last forever.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, same. Mine, when you get them wet and dry, wet, dry, they tend to kind of break apart, start to crumble. But yeah, I've never.
Mhm.
Do you ever seal yours?
I don't even know
Yeah,
where
I've
you'd
never either.
start,
So
you know?
I had an old Fluger. It was one of the was it President? Was that the combos?
Presidential?
Yeah. And mine broke all apart. I had really bad luck with my two Flugers, and I know people love those as one of the best.
Mhm.
And it wasn't I'm not even gonna get into it, but okay, let's see. Let's get the next giveaway rolling here. Okay, so what was the last one I gave? Let's switch to the guys. Now this one isn't as big just because, well, it is big in a different type of big, but not as big as far as number of baits in this one. But you'll see why. Let's just show it here real quick. So for all you nerds that like the bigger baits, I found some of these laying around.
Oh,
One of
dang.
the 178 glides, Molex. This is supposed to be a pretty solid one. I never even threw it. I've got, I think, 4 of these now. People have sent me. So the zoom frog with the third leg back here, third red leg, and this thing is big. Look at how big of a frog that is. It's a body itself is like 3.5, almost 4 inches plus the legs. So this is for you folks that need a follow up to your big old swim bait deal. I got a few of these. I threw one, got it snagged. The second one, I'm like, what am I doing fishing these? I don't even know what I'm doing with my life when I throw these. But this is a cool one, another Molex one, and they didn't send me these. These are stuff I bought. This is a new one. 2.5 ounces. Does it say how long it is? 6.5 inches long. Looked super cool in the water. It's got kind of a club. It reminds me of the like Huddlestons that kind of have that club type tail. Kind of neat. And I've never caught a single thing on a Huddleston. I only had one of these left. This was a Gander Mountain special, but it's a weedless for larger swim baits. And I threw it in here because of these. Check these out. Gambler Big Easy.
Is that jig head? Is it like V'd? Is there a V to it?
Yeah, it's one of those 360. It's supposed to fit the 360 GT swim baits. Okay, but if you just take your paddle tail and just cut it at an angle, it'll fit right up on there. Okay. But anyway, these are the Gambler Big Easies. They've got a bunch of neat colors, but look at that one. It's like the tramp stamp, black and blue, green pumpkin. These you can rig weightless, just on a regular EWG hook and fish over the top and scum and muck and stuff, kind of like you would a frog. Just kind of bringing it over that like a toad. I know a lot of people do that, and these are 5 inches, so not huge, but a little bit larger. And holy smokes, Gambler stuff smells so garlicky. Ooh, man! If you had smell a computer,
it goes back for a second smell.
And the last thing, I had 2 of these. I was looking at one. I don't know where the other one went. I know I've got a 2-pack of these somewhere, but I was going to throw in one of the big Beast Coast creeps, and they're 6.5 inch. They say to use an 8/0 swimbait hook, and I do have some 8/0, so I'll throw those in as well. But I was looking at these as a trout. Actually, I might be able to do a dual pack because I think I lost one of the dope gill ones. I got it snagged, so I might be able to do a dope gill and a trout. That's the trout color. But anyway, this is the larger swim bait stuff. So we'll just do in honor of Ian and his rims.
So large. So large.
Oh, Ian.
Bigger than a baby.
They're bigger than a baby. Giveaway, and we'll do hashtag large. Oh, so large. There was a guy we used to work with. I've told this story before. It might have been on a members only, but he was one of those guys that just tried so hard, like, to get people like him. And I don't know why, because he was pretty buff, like he was big.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy, but dude, he just tried so hard to be cool. But anyway, we'd always joke at where we worked, like when you'd get a sale, because Dizzle and I worked in customer service, inbound sales. And like when you'd get a sale, you'd go up in front of this whole floor of people. It was just like an open, I don't know, like
kind of literally like the movie Boiler Room, if anybody's seen it. Very similar to that anyway.
Yes. And it was a phone company, landline, the phones that you had to plug in. And when you get a sale, you go up and write your sale down, and people would cheer for you and clap, and you go back talking to you. Anyway, this guy, whenever he'd go up, there was a couple guys that sat up front who would like find people funny things about him and like give him crap. Anyway, for this poor guy, he had like 22-inch rims, and he was trying super hard, but he'd go up there, and the front row would always go, "Oh, Ian, your rims are so large."
So large. Oh, Ian.
Oh, Ian. Anyway, so there we go. That's the hashtag large box.
Large.
Oh, what a fun night. Again, I just want to say thank you to everybody here. Okay, so let's see. We did have a donation to Tom. I just want to say thank you to everybody hopping and hanging out with us tonight. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for all you do for us. This is to help with the shipping for all the giveaways. Man, you did not need to do that. A $20 bomb. I will cheers to that. Thank you so much, brother. This is why I keep doing it. Too much fun. And I never don't look. I can't say that now. There's been a couple nights where I've been like, I don't even want to do a live. I'm just tired. But usually 9.9 times out of 10, I never don't look forward to doing a live because it's just BS and talking fishing. The biggest compliment, I know I've said it before, but the biggest compliment I could get is when people are talking, they're like, dude, DEBO'S one of the type of guys I'd like to sit around a campfire and have a beer with and just talk fishing. Like, yes, that is it. not a pro. I'm not going to go out and show you guys and gals how to win $10 million tournaments. I don't know everything, but stuff I don't know, I'm happy to tell you I don't, and we can learn together. What else do we have? Let's see. So Tom, thank you so much, man. That was awesome. Oh, and also Hawk Fishing Outdoors became a member. Hawk, thank you, my man. Did you get your goodies? Actually, he was a winner he did my 8-bit Debo face.
Nice.
So I sent out some stuff to him. He's been a long time follower, another OG. That's what's cool, is all the OGs that I have that still follow me. Really cool. Gramps in the house. I think the lunker sticks are a great value, especially the bladed jig rod. I don't think I have that one. I've got like a medium heavy moderate fast, which I do like for moving baits, just fluorocarbon, but I also used it for like my lighter frogs. I put 50-pound braid on it, and I just hate the micro guides. But if I'm using a nylon line on it, it doesn't bother me at all. Gabe in here. Gabe, we need to get you on again some night. Gabe's always a good talk you're down by the Ozarks, right? Mid-southernish Missouri. I don't remember how far he is from there, but dude can catch him. Another guy like us just likes to hop on. He does a weekly stream. Gabe, feel free to put your time and stuff in here because you are a nice dude. When you go live, people can watch. Let's see. Sam, okay, this one we're talking about Lake Sam Rayburn. Yeah, where was it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember I had an old bass. Oh God, what was it? Bass something? Was it Bassmasters on the computer? Like an old game on the computer.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, and I forget, there was it wasn't Sam Rayburn. There was another one that I loved fishing on that one. Oh, but anyway, Sam Rayburn reminded me of that because Rayburn was one you could go to. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, that was old, like, God, that would have been mid-90s, mid to earlier 90s, I think. Mid-90s? I don't know.
Are you sure it was PC? It wasn't
It was PC,
Super Nintendo?
absolutely. Nope.
Super Nintendo came out with a ridiculous amount of fishing games.
I never played any fishing games on consoles, ever.
Yeah. Jason, I definitely agree. Black Bass on Nintendo 64.
The only fishing game that I had on console was the little one where my grandpa had it. It was like a little, remember those little games that were all handheld?
Like the plug and play all in one?
No, this was just it was just a thing like this. It was a fishing pole, like a fishing reel thing. You push the button, cast out. Okay. It had like a little reel on it. You would reel it in. I had one of those. It actually was grandpa's, but
I had I think it was just called Bass Fishing on the Sega Dreamcast, and it came with a remote. Got rid of that Dreamcast, and then I don't know, probably 15 years ago, I found it online and bought the whole thing again. Bought a used Dreamcast, the game, the fishing rod controller, and no idea where it is. I had to keep something heavy on top of it, or the lid would pop open. So it's great technology.
D Burley Hype Man in here. D Burley, I did get your email. I've got a bag going out to you as well. It's on my board up yondu. You can't see it, but I did get that. I know there's some people I didn't reply to, but what the hell is that? A face hugger coming out of your stomach there? Poor fella. Ended up like Bishop. Bad deal. Okay, Michael Bradley. Question: if you could share about with one pro and one guest. Gosh, we've been asked this one too, and I don't know enough of the pros to. The more I get into it, I think Johnny Cox would be fun because it'd be either somebody that I think I could joke with and have really like a really fun time, but still learn. You know, he's a shallow guy. I think we could have a blast. Or it would be somebody where I'm fishing like offshore where I could really learn from him, but still have a good time. So it's like, I don't think, and this is no disrespect to him because obviously he's the GOAT, but like KVD, I don't know that we'd have a great time. Like I'm sure I'd be telling jokes and he'd be like, this kid is a moron, or this guy's a moron. Like, he needs to get the hell off my boat. I've got better things to do.
He'd be like, you're on timeout, Debo. You sit down back there.
Like, full of info. Could I absorb a lot from him? Absolutely. Like, if it was just a learning thing, of course. But I don't know. I would like to joke around and have a good time. And I don't know. I just don't know enough. I'm not.
We both could totally be way off on him too. He could be just a ride out on his boat. You know, you never.
He's probably watching right now. He's probably like a closet Debo fan, and is just like, I actually quit tourney fishing so I can watch Debo on Saturdays. Cheers, KVD. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you supporting me on Saturdays. And one guest, dude. I don't know, whoever. Like, man, Dizzle, who we going fishing with?
Yeah, I mean, I would choose G-Man, and you'd be my guest, Debo.
Okay, G-Man, I think could be a lot of fun. But again, I think he'd be like, you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. He'd just push us off
I
and
think
go
he would
deer
be.
hunting.
He's funny or something, you know.
He's funny as hell, dude. He could be a comedian. Some of the
Yeah.
things like on his Instagrams and stuff
Oh
cracks
yeah.
me up. All right,
He
we
was
just hit
talked
200.
about a
Let's do a
recent
giveaway.
tournament. Hilarious about like having to scale down and like I don't know, throw a Ned rig or something like that. He's like, I don't even know what the hell this stuff is, and just hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, this is the big Swimbait.
Losing big fish. Debo can't hear because he still hasn't charged his wireless earbuds.
Losing big fish just won. That's funny. How do these, with all the people in here? I think he just won a few weeks ago. He was on my list of people that I just sent to. But hey, that's
Ooh.
fine. I said only one winner each tonight. That doesn't mean if you won 3 weeks ago, you can't win tonight. So losing big fish it is.
Losing big fish. Are you here? Debo, have you charged those? Did he take his headphones out again? He did, didn't he? There he goes. Hey, buddy,
In
how's
here?
that charging of those headphones, the wireless ones going?
Oh my God, is Arthur in here? He's asking why I'm not wearing them.
No, I'm asking.
Oh yeah, it went great. Yeah, charging was good. Let's
Yeah.
see. So losing big fish, send me an email so I know it's you. I
Still
think I've
looking. Nope.
already got your
Losing big
stuff.
fish is here.
Okay.
9:05.
Let's see. Gabe said his is Lake Okoboji. That always used to be one for me too, but I heard it went downhill the past few years. But what the hell do I know? I'm sure they're downhill as well. No, we catch an average of, I only caught 6-7 pounders today, where usually I was catching 9 and 10 pounders. So it's like, oh boy, that'd be rough catching 8 6-pounders in a day or whatever. Let's see. Okay, we'll go through a couple questions. I've got another reel. Maybe we'll do that one next. We'll do a reel. I've got another random monster bass box. Then maybe we'll do a grand prize something. We'll have to think of something fun to do here. Switch that over. Okay, let's see. We'll get into let's do a couple questions here. Crystals, is that another burger place? Crystals, like a bootleg
Crystals
White
is a
Castle.
different version of White Castle, yeah. It's in the South. You know what White Castle is, right?
I know what White Castle is, yes.
They're I from what I've heard, the same thing.
There's Philip in the house. Philip, I did give away the old Bruin. I don't know if you hopped on late, but thank you, my man, for all that you've donated. Let's see. What's up? Excellent. More people talking about White Castle. Man, we really blew stuff up here with White Castle.
Yeah. Man, I'm hungry.
Let's see. That sounds awesome. Okay, let's see. If you find some good ones, actually, your private chat here is what do you got?
Yeah, there's a good few in there.
Lucas Flint question: what are good small swim bait jig heads, open hook ball head type? Well, those owner ones that I showed in the Finesse, I used quite a few of those. I actually like a darter head too, like a little pointy one. Owner, it's actually was owner again that I used. Small ball head. I honestly don't use like really small ball head. I'm not sure how small you're talking. I tend to use like a fish head type. So you could like, if you think of like the Okashira type, those are more expensive. I don't buy a ton of those, but you know, that type, or like a 6 Sense head, or Dirty Jigs. They have like the guppy head type, or a bunch of them out there. Do it. Obviously Do It. I make my own Do It ones now. They've got like a little fish type head.
Dart heads, whatever darter heads.
Yeah. But I would say if you just want an open hook, like a really, really good one, I know Owner makes those, but I'm sure you could find Gamakatsu makes some, or whatever. My deal is a good sharp hook.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a round lead, there's really not much you can screw up with a round head that's a 90-degree line tie. Good sharp hook though, because someone like the VMC, I've kind of had iffy luck with VMC jig heads. I say that, and actually now that I think of that, VMC ball head, actually that's probably my favorite. What a hypocrite I am.
And there he goes again. Take a drink. Okay. Jeez. Well, I've really good extreme cold river. What me personally, I would say lipless if it's gonna work for your area, or not a lipless, but a
I just
squirtle.
saw one over there the other day. But anyway, it's the new owner one, or it's the new VMC ones with the round head. I can show you real quick here. I really like those. Oh, actually, I got some of those on the Omnia sale too. That was another one of the things.
Mm.
Oops, not losing big fish. Let's present, and then I'll do the next giveaway. Show what we're doing here. Okay, I think it's VMC, right? Am I thinking of the right? If we go to VMC, I really like these ones, so hopefully I'm thinking correctly here. Yeah, these, the hybrid Swimbait head jig. So I got more of the 3/16 ounce because when I initially got them, I think I got a 1/4 and 5/16 just to try. But I really like the 3/16 for finesse. But if you're looking for smaller than that or something different, I like these with the screw head too. So if you end up getting in grass or stuff from the boat or from the bank, I like having that option. The eyes fell off of all of them, so you might want to grab some extra eyes if you really like that. They must use like a cheap glue, but yeah, really like those. That's another one if you're looking for more of a round ball head finesse type. Let's see. What was there another question? I thought that Mike M question this or that Plano Edge or Busby. I thought that was an interesting one because I've never used a single Busby one. I've watched Burley and Paul do unboxings. I think they know the owner or whatever. They've stopped on like the iCast deal and stuff, and I've talked a lot about them. They look really nice. I've never used one.
I have. That's kind of one of the reasons why I grabbed that. Is I know you still haven't got your hands on one yet, but they're awesome. They're
Oh, you have a
modular.
Busby?
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
smaller one. Totally modular. Super nice. You can change it out for what you want. It's a great day box, especially if you know kind of
I
what
do
you're
like
gonna
that.
want to
The little
fish.
trays that you can
Yeah.
mix and match.
Yep. If you know what you're gonna want to take, it's a great day box. The closure on it, uh, amazing. Overall, I definitely recommend that for a day box. The Plano edges, I think, are a little bit better of a overall better box, for like everyday fishing versus, the Busby's. Like I said, great for a day box.
I agree. Deep Burley, this one I'm going to go into real quick before I show this box. Fun question here. Old school, the Bantam Corrado, so the old free spool Corrado, or $150 reel currently. And the amount of technology that's trickled down from, used to have to get a lot of those higher price reels. For me, like back in the day, one that I had right when I was getting back into fishing was the Corrado E 200E. Didn't know what I had at the time. Somebody had not taken care of it as a piece of crap. I sold it for like $40. But after that, looking at how popular those were, I really wanted to get some. And now even getting good ones in good condition, $150 reel now is better than those as far as fit, finish, feel. But I bought like 3 of those because I went on the hunt. You can't find them. They're just cool reels. They're workhorses. That's kind of the other thing though. A lot of them now, that technology and stuff has come down, but those things, they were built in Japan, super solid. A lot of the things now you get are, this graphite, plasticky, I don't think hold up quite as well. $150, you're not really dealing with that, I'll say, but some of the less expensive things, sub 100. But yeah, the $100 price point has just exploded too. When the Lose LFS first broke onto the market, it's like, dude, this is a $99 reel. Like this thing is bad. Then you start seeing the SLX, the Fuego, some of these other companies, and they've really trickled that down, seeing that budget, $50 to $100 price range really being so popular. So I don't know
Hey,
where else I was
pause
going.
before you go into that box. Losing big fish at 906 says, I don't have a rod big enough to throw half of that stuff. You should have thought of that before I won all of it. Roll it again.
I do have it up. We can do that. Losing big fish. Okay. I can do that, my friend. I can do that. Let's see.
Thanks everybody that commented, letting me know about that too. I totally missed it.
Yeah, and thanks for people that do that. When you win it and you don't really think you're going to use it, I would rather
Yeah.
do that than send it to you and it just sit there. So or I get to the time where I'm going to send it out and they just say, oh, just give it to somebody else. And then I don't have all the rolls and all that here. So now I can just do a re-roll. So losing big fish, no problem. I can do that. Thank you, brother.
And
Justin James. Any relation to Jesse?
James.
The outlaw, not the
which one? You didn't know, and I think I told you recently. He went away from motorcycles and stuff like that and started doing custom pew-pews.
Oh yeah, I think you did say that. No, like, Jesse, go ahead.
I was just gonna say crazy engraving kind of stuff to it, but yeah,
that's cool. It's weird how that whole, like, I liked watching Orange County Choppers with like Phil Tuttle, I think was his name. And there was like their West Coast Choppers, or Paul, like West Coast Choppers. All that was so big, and like choppers were so famous, and now it's like all those died. I'm not really in the motorcycle thing, but it was like you never see them anymore. There's nothing like talk about them. Those big choppers. It must have been a thing there for like what, early 2000s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay, Justin, are you still here? I guess we need to check that.
Oh yeah.
Is he here? Can you use it? Justin James, are you here? If you are here, send me an email, DEBO'SFishing@gmail.com.
Justin is. Okay. I'm here and no relation.
Oh. Darn. Well, tried. That's probably a good thing because he was an outlaw and killed people. So, Justin, I'm glad you don't do that. Follow in his ways. Anyway, took a dark turn there, folks. Okay, let's give a box away. Hey, okay, let's see. So this was a bunch of, I think these were all Monster Bass boxes I kind of threw into one for a bunch of random things. So we had some of the original craw. Was this a monster? I don't know. Stanley Jigs, the original Hales crawworm. Oops. Kind of cool. Reminds you of those old like salt craw type of look to them, you know, the longer body like a worm. These actually would work really cool for a Nico rig now. You know, back in the day it was just throw these on a Texas rig, but something like this nowadays, like a little Nico rig where you've got it like this and it's got the little claws up. Kind of a cool deal. Some of those. There's some
hey, just FYI, in relation to that comment earlier about the Jesse James motorcycle guy, I just pulled up his website real quick. He's got a 2-piece 45 set for sale for a mere $75,000.
Jesus, dang!
Oh boy,
a little out of my price range.
Just a
some baby D bombs, California green. Love these things as a trailer or a little finesse Texas rig. Here's the Boy Ducket knockoff rattle trap that looks just like a rattle trap, and actually the color looks pretty sick. It's like the
just all chrome
silver. Oh, it's like the top is like a silver paint with like a chrome belly. Actually does look pretty neat. Let's see. A Sergeant. I do like these. 1/2 ounce. This is the silent. Folks over at Thunderhawk again. I really like that red and orange one. That one turned out really, really neat from them. Let's see. We've got one of the Monster Bass Rolos. I think they changed this to like Seeker or something now. I threw this, had a really good day on it. One of the lakes here. Like those, like your 6 foot. What's it dive to? Yeah, 4 to 6 feet. I was in that 5 to 6 foot range. 3DB. This is one of the best budget pencil poppers. I had a whole bunch of these back in the day. I don't throw these as much anymore, but just for, God, I want to say it was Walmart, or actually it might have been Gander. They used to have these for $6-7, something like that. More of a budget deal, but walk super easy, good. That one knocker sound. It's like a Super Spook Junior, kind of. Now these, I will say, some of the Monster Bass boxes do have some silly lures in it. This is like a walleye lure thing. I don't know who the hell would use this.
This is a deep troller.
Yeah, it's like a, yeah, I don't know. This one was kind of a miss. What's it go to? 6 to 10 feet. 6 to 10 feet. Troll that baby in your kayak when you're switching spots or your boat. Maybe you catch something. Some of the Spear Point finesse hooks. Good for your drop shot and Nico wacky rig needs. This one I do like too. This is the Flatty Flatty Daddy 65 from 13 Fishing. Some of their
those
naming. Kind of a
colors, though.
kind of a semi flat side. It's like a good, what do they call this color? Day old guac. Some old
All
brown
that literally matches 100%.
guacamole. But yeah, kind of a good, like sunfish bluegill imitation. There's a Chatterbait Elite. Another good one. This is the same as, I think it's the same as I forget, there was the Elite and there was another one that matched. This is the bigger 5/0 hook. Some big bite baits. These were not, I don't think these were from them. I think these were some of my trailers, but these are the big bite baits. Maybe it was the ram tail. This thing's actually neat. I bought some of these a long time ago.
I was going
Rigged
to
it
say,
once
is that an older package or is it a newer package?
and never used them. I don't know. I think this is a newer package. Oh,
I've
gosh
never
dang
really
it.
seen them in like the red ones that they had.
I am opening this now. It was unopened, but it's like Yum and somebody else does this where you have to like tear the seal to get into them. Not a fan. I like where you can just get into it. But they've got these. You could, I suppose,
Dang.
almost rig this like as a buzzbait trailer deal too. But it's like buzzbait frog. Oh, I'm gonna drop all this.
Oh man,
it's like a buzzbait frog back half that you could throw on a jig, or I don't know what you do to it, but kind of a cool looking deal. Let's see, and I think the last thing in here, let me get that shot, that falling out. Oops, I've got two things. There's a lifted jig, black and blue brown jig, looks pretty neat. That is a 3/8, I think. And then some of the goats, Billy Goat. This is the bigger one. Love these as a buzzbait trailer. If you run a naked buzzbait, it's like a mix between a frog, grub, kind of like an oversized Rage Menace, which is 4.25 inches. All right, so there we go. That'll be the next one. And yeah, this is going to fall all over and not fit in the box because I had them all in there nicely, of course. Okay, let's get the next giveaway going. Then last, we're already, gosh, we've been on hour 40. Maybe the last will end with a reel. Let's see here. What do you crack?
I just sent you. There was a question that was asked. I sent it over to your StreamYard chat.
Okay. Do that. Do this. Share, and we'll do hashtag monster. That's just a conglomeration of extra monster bass boxes I've got. Okay. Let's see. So what do we got here, Dizzle? Okay, Patrick had a question too. I'm going back through old questions. Patrick Fahey, Pat Fahey, is there an efficient and convenient way to carry soft plastics? I keep trying different things. I've said it before. I'm a big fan of keeping them in there. I know I've shown this before. Oh God, I almost knocked my whole glass over there with my hat. I'm a big fan of keeping plastics in their bags. So I don't know if you're talking like bank fishing or something. Like I tend to overpack when I bank fish. So if you're asking like a better way to do that, pack less. But if you have extra here, so I like carrying these. These are 6 cents. There's like the KVD bags. Tackle Warehouse has some of them, but I like taking some of these.
You can pack a ton of plastics in there as long as you throw away.
And this just has a whole bunch of extra plastics and all kinds of stuff. And I can go back, smaller backpack. I can go back to the truck and, you know, kind of reload and stuff.
And throw away the clamshells.
No, keep the clamshells and put them in the back
of
Dizzle's truck.
Garbage.
He likes that when you give him your leftover clamshells. Kantar family question: do you ever target anything other than bass during the cold season, especially living in the Midwest? Yes, crappie, panfish are great to do, you know, when they're hanging around docks. Some of those places up a little shallower. Trout, I like trout fishing, you know, stock stuff. I'm not a fly fishing aficionado, one of those type, but yeah, stock trout, I think it's fun. And pike, I love pike, not necessarily during the cold months, but pike topwater is an absolute blast. I wouldn't mind doing pike and stuff cold, you know, when they're
would pike still go after topwater when it gets colder?
I don't know, because they get more active in the colder water. They prefer cooler water, so I don't know how far You know, kind of like the walleye bite. I know that walleye bite really heats up when, you know, when the temperatures drop, but it's more of a
Right.
boat thing and dams and that kind of stuff. And I just don't have enough experience of that for the different ones. But yeah, I like some other stuff. Actually, Dad and I were talking about taking a trip up and doing perch fishing up to,
Ooh.
oh, where was that? He said they were catching some gigantor perch somewhere. But yeah, that'd be fun too. Perch fishing is a lot of fun through the ice. So let's see. Is it Mike? Mike M. For old time's sake, can you give away a fish? Can you give away a fishing license for the last giveaway? How about this, Mike? I can't give away a fishing license because it's got, you know, my personal information on it, but we could do a fishing license trivia question. Hey, everybody loves those. That was such a great one when we did that one. Let's see. Let me go back through the questions here. What do we got? G fan in the house. G fan, I haven't talked to you in a minute, man. I hope you're well. Let's see, Mike. We've got a whole bunch of apparently when I talked about the Zoom frog, I should have maybe chose better words talking about the oh Lord. We went off the rails on that one. Let's see here. Let's do another question, then we'll give this one. We're at 172, 174. Come, we have 315 people in here. You don't want all those lures? Should be at least 200 people entering for that. Come on. Let's see. Oh, this is all the large swim bait stuff is where I'm back at. Let me get back here a little bit. And actually, I'll just start it now and kind of go back real quick. How about that? So people talking about winter fishing. Yeah, I'm not like the other place, like our fall, like into winter here. It always feels like it goes so damn quick. You know, it's not like the South where it's like, oh yeah, I'm now into winter fishing. I'm doing this in open water. And it's like, well, my winter fishing is going to be ice fishing. So, people talking about where the fishing where they live, more people for fishing license trivia. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's something Midwest that I want to try this year. I tried it once last year with some minnows just to get anything because I've never caught anything on a tip up. I've never like been a tip up guy to use those or anything because I like sitting in my hut. So it's like I don't want to be running out of my hut and doing tip ups and stuff. But maybe on one of those days where it's warmer, try taking a tip up out and doing a jig in one hole and tip up in the other. Because yeah, I would love to get some pike under the ice.
Yeah, that one pike that you had on camera that one season was insane. Just like,
oh yeah,
just seeing it like cruise up on the. Did it even look at your lure or just kind of just went by?
No, I had two really big. I don't remember if that was. I think that was a back shoot of the Mississippi. I had one really, really big one swim through, and he wanted nothing to do with my jig or anything. But gosh, it's so cool seeing him on there. Clamshells for Doga. Yeah, Hawk said pike topwater is maybe one of the most fun things ever. Dude, yeah, they just shamu out of the water. They're mean. They just want to destroy any lure that you have tied on. We're back to the monster stuff. Okay, well, let's draw this one, then we'll do the reel, and then maybe we'll call the night here. Bayou, come on. That's almost ban worthy right there. We don't talk about that here. How many minnows were born in 1984 on Lake Fork? That's a good question, Kyle.
On Lake Fork? 0 because they were born in Lake Fork.
Okay, let's draw this one for the Monster Bass Box. The Monster Bass Box. Here's our winner. Must be present to win. Got to email me. Oh, I hope none of these people, we didn't talk about our Canadian brethren up north. Hey, Tackle Box Mike has a good way to, the safety pins there storing his hooks on it. It's a good way to store hooks if you've do that and then put them in like one of these plastic bags. Like I get these off of Amazon for cheap, but for like my fishing lures and stuff when I send them out. Put them in a bag like that and you can write the weight and stuff on them or keep the back of the card. So if it's like a gami hook thing, put them in there, put it like that. You can have like a little, or just keep them in the
those
they come from.
Those are an acceptable size bag to keep your lures in. Unlike he took his headphones out, so it's not going to matter because, you know, I wouldn't. It's not like I was talking to him or anything like that. Let's see. And we'll just wait for him to come back. The pleasant person that he is, always ignoring me. It's awesome. Have I seen Tackle Box Mike yet? Did you see Tackle Box Mike say here?
I have not been looking.
I'm looking. I just hadn't seen Tackle Box Mike is here.
Okay.
Is
Tackle Box
923.
Mike. Send me an email, DEBO'SFishing@gmail.com. I will send you your box o lures. All right. And for the last thing, so Akuma had actually sent this to me quite some time ago to do for a giveaway, and I completely forgot about it. This is one of the Hakais. This is back when they came out. That's a year or something ago. I don't even know anymore. This one was one they sent me to do, so I had taken it out, used it, and I think this was actually the one I was going to do like a live on the water. This is the one I caught that, speaking of big pike, caught that big pike on. It's right-handed. I know, no love for the lefties today. But yeah, pretty good reel. I don't like the mini. It's like they were going to go power handles, but then ran out of like design time. I don't like the small, and this is just a personal preference thing, but like compare that to the Gomexus and it's like, yeah, one of those is clearly a power handle, you know, right? But yeah, otherwise reel was a little, I wouldn't say hard to get dialed in, but I just had to bump it up a little bit more. And once I did, it's just got the brakes here. Yeah, good little reel. So that will be a right-handed giveaway. Maybe we'll need to look for a lefty or do a spinning reel too. That's the, let's see, 100, which is what speed? 6.2, 6.2 to 1. Equipped with pike slime on the handle still.
Delicious.
Hakai. Okay, so that'll be for the 6-speed right-handed Hakai. Let's do this. Grab this. And let's see, I can take that off. Share this. Okay, hashtag cast because it is a bait caster. Okay, so let's get to some fun questions here. What else we got? Give us your questions if you were in one of those questions or stuff when I skipped a half hour ahead. Ask it again. This will probably be our last giveaway. 300 people still watching, almost 2 hours in, but we're 2 hours in. I do, you know, I try to do a fun giveaway when I have room. Now that my whiteboard's all the way full again, I may better make sure I get all these out next week.
We haven't already talked about any kind of side bets or anything of how long it's going to take you to get those out. Nobody's done that.
Are people doing that? Oh dear.
Yeah. I did not initiate that whatsoever.
Hey, congrats, folks! You won. You expect your giveaway in 5 to 6 months. Let's see. All hashtag cast stuff in here. Looking for any good questions. Put a question at the front if you have a question. That makes it easier for old Debo to pull these out. Have you ever tried tricka rods, Squirrely Dan? I have not. I don't know what those are.
You ever tried Denali rods?
Jay-Z, when are you getting your kayak? Man, I was just talking about this again, trying to figure out, like, I only took my John Butt out once this year. Pretty horrible. A kayak would be a lot easier to maneuver in and out for where I live, for storage.
You could hang it too, couldn't you?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one of those electric, or even.
Oh, like so you've already made the decision, huh?
No, that's if I do it. That's what I'm going to get, is one of those where I can just back it in, hook it up, and then up in my garage. So we have a tall garage.
Freudian slip there, Debo.
No, if I wouldn't be afraid to tell people who I was, but I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I don't know.
Trevor Wagner has a great question.
Ooh, pumpkin or apple? I like both. I really don't know that I have a for sure all favorite.
Ooh.
I really like pie.
I'm going apple unless it's like Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, I would probably say apple because I have up more. I mean, yeah, I only have pumpkin like, yeah, Thanksgiving or Christmas. So
Hmm.
yeah, I like apple pie a lot. What are the differences between a swim jig and a regular jig? Marcus, usually a swim jig, and actually, I just happen to have one right here. This is the Mobster swim jig, Booyah Mobster swim jig. Generally, your swim jigs are going to have more of a pointed arrow type head. So you can see this is that wedge type. So when they're coming through grass and stuff, tends to go through part those. Whereas like a round ball head or a football or even an arky will tend to grab stuff more. So it's just more of that bullet pointed, meant to come through grass and stuff more. Usually your swim jigs aren't going to have a crazy heavy hook. Now, this is more of a middle wire hook, so not crazy heavy, but pretty stout. And usually a lighter weed guard, which this is pretty light. So most of the swim jigs are going to be more of a finesse kind of feel, as opposed to like a flipping jig that usually has a stouter guard, probably a heavier wire hook. Yeah, swim jigs. Amy asked, how is Fudge Stripe doing? Fudge Stripe is doing awesome. I need to do an update on, gosh, that's been forever, on his new tank because he's in a 55-gallon now. Actually, well, he was on, his tank was in when I was testing lures on the unboxing the other day. His tank had a really bad algae like outbreak, and it's this like brown algae that will cover all the leaves and stuff, so the plants can't photosynthesize, they die off. So I was battling that for a while. I've got some other fish I'm going to try to put in there, which will be fun. Hopefully he doesn't kill him and eat him because he's a pretty stout boy now. So these fish should grow about 3.5
Allegedly.
4 inches.
Allegedly.
Dizzle.
This is it. What everybody doesn't know is DEBO'S already told me this is Fudge Stripe number 79. He keeps trying to make videos, but he just like keeps passing away. I don't know.
The fish keep dying before I get out. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, what people might not know about me, I got into fish keeping early last year, maybe 2 years ago. Since then, my addiction kind of got out of control. So I went from 2 tanks to, I think I have like 12 now. 15.
Didn't it start out for the girls?
It did, yeah. So I got the girls a guppy tank, and then that turned into, boy, these guppies are breeding. I could sell like guppies on the side. That'd be fun. Watch them breed, and then, oh man, yeah.
Whoa. Give
Too
them their
much.
privacy, dude. Come on.
Well, not watch them. Okay, Colin, is there a brand you consider overrated in the rod world that I consider overrated? I don't have a ton of experience with G Loomis. I know some of like the really, really, really diehard G Loomis folks like swear by them, and I think there's just as good a rods you can get for cheaper. With that being said, I haven't used all of them, and I know they do make very good rods, so don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is for the way I fish, I'm not a tournament pro. I'm not out trying to win $100,000. For the way I fish, I think up to a $200, like a $200-ish rod is more than I need. From all that I've used, $30 rods up to, I've got one of the Dobbins, whatever the black and silver. It's like a $500 rod. Got that on sale for, I don't remember what it was. It's so damn nice, but it's like, it's way more than I need, to be honest. So I wouldn't say necessarily overrated, but I think maybe a bit too high priced. I don't know what it goes all into, they're making and stuff. I'm sure there's politics behind all that and stuff, but
Right.
I'm just saying for me, I am completely set on $200 all rods, I think. Oh, what about you, Dizzle?
Yeah, I don't. I would. I mean, I wouldn't say the same thing just because I haven't really ever fished any G Loomis whatsoever. But actually, I have a couple old school G Loomises that I didn't mind. They're pretty decent, but overall, I don't. I really don't let people's opinions as far as what lure gear I use kind of sway my decision. I like to get out there and try it myself. I like to get my hands on it.
Yeah, you're definitely get it and test it out first. So Chris actually won a spinning reel, an Abu spinning reel. I'm gonna run up and grab it here in a second because I will give that away tonight too. So that'll be our spinning reel. Very nice of him to do that, which is good because I don't have a spinning reel packed up and ready or anything. Let's draw that. Are we at 197? Is that what that says? Oh, we need 3 more. We got to break 200.
I can't see that.
We can't be at 197. 3 more. Hashtag cast. Give away the Okuma Hakai right-handed 6-speed. Then I'll run up. I'll let Dizzle talk about a question here in a second, and I'll grab that spinning reel. Thank you for reminding me of that, Chris.
There was a great question. Tom had strawberry or cherry cheesecake. Just putting it out there.
I like both.
Are you a big cheesecake guy or no?
I wouldn't say big. I like it, but it's not like I don't go out of my way to find it and eat it.
Yeah,
It's really like sickening. So like anytime I have it and I eat, like it's always dessert. Like I'm not a big dessert guy after supper because it's like I'm already so full. And like once I eat dessert, then I'm just unbearable. Like I just feel horrible.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't like eating too much. When is the next? Oh, damn you, Trevor. Okay, on that note, let's draw this. Do this here and hey, giving away stuff. Let's look at this. Giving away a thing, doing these. Dude, I know I need to do one. I am bad. God dang it. I need to do one. I just need to do a damn members live. I don't think about it. I'm bad at that. I need more time to prepare. Rick Walter, are you here?
Rick, are you here?
And Rick, you better not say, I don't use Baitcasters. What is this? I thought I was entering in for a microwave.
A leg lamp. You get a leg lamp.
Yeah. Jelly of the month.
I'm watching. If you want to, well, he took his headphones out again, so he'll never hear me say, go ahead and run. I'll watch for it while you do it.
All right. Oh, hey, Rick, is he here?
I'm still looking, but if you want to run and grab that reel, if you were planning on doing that, you can do that.
Yeah, do that, and then we can pick a.
Rick is here.
Rick is here. Okay. Yep. Rick, send me an email, DEBO'SFishing@gmail.com with a screenshot of your YouTube, so I know it's you, and your address, and I'll get that sent out. Okay. Let's see. People were asking. Somebody asked what yak did I look at? I've been looking. I'm no pro, but from what I've looked at, let's see. Oh, that was Chris that messaged me. Are you giving that away? I am, Chris. Thank you for reminding me. Let me look. I was just going to look at screenshots because I figured I would forget it. It is the, gosh, I thought I see it. Oh, here. The Native Titan X Propel, which has, I think it's a pedal, but it's got like the seat that spins 360. It's not out yet. It's supposed to be coming out. That one to me looks like the winner. It's supposed to be super stable. It's got pedal. You can put the motor on the back because I want to get a motor for mine. That's money though. That's a lot of money. And this year was a little less in the money area. So that's
would you really want to go? Would you really want to go that deep into it, knowing that is it the first year that line's being released?
No, I mean Native. There's been other Titans before that. It's just
gotcha. I thought you were saying it was like first run of that specific line or something.
No, it's like their new updated version.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, here's a good one. Do this one. Speaking of, because we'll have a spinning reel that would go perfect for that. I'll be right back.
Yeah. God, I was gonna say take a drink. Oh man, I was gonna tell him we would time him and then like tell him, run fast, buddy, you got this, run fast. I will time you, it'll be awesome. And then we wouldn't time it at all, that'd be fun. Just kidding. You always time them. Let's see, best $100. That was fast. Is that? I thought it was a bag of popcorn he brought down with him. I was like, dude, you get confused when you ran off there. Let's see. And what did he do? Run, Forrest, run. Did you mute yourself as well?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. Ran up quick. So this is the reel that Chris threw in for our giveaway. So Chris, thank you so much for doing that. Very nice. You, the Elite Max from Abus, the 30 size, so like your 300, 3000.
It looks smooth.
It's actually, it feels really smooth out of the box or brand
in
new.
The box.
How long will it hold up? I don't know, but it's hitting the box there. But
the packaging.
6.2
Nice.
to 1, 7 bearings, Elite Max. So there we go. Should be a good reel, and that's exactly what I would pair it with, is like $100-ish spinning reel or a rod. Spinning rods, I feel like you can get away with not going as crazy.
What?
I don't know price, but what?
What was the rod that I just got? My spinning rod. Was that a Daiwa rod? I think it was Daiwa. The 6'6". It's like a bronzy gold color.
Guggen? Sounds like something Guggen brand.
No,
I have
no.
no idea.
I'm looking that up, and I want to say
Okay.
that was
Anyway, I was
probably like
just going to say, because I go braid to a liter on all mine, so I think you can get away with not going as expensive. Now, on the opposite side of that, I'm going to be completely contradictory. Bottom baits, so jig, Texas rig, things where you really need that sensitivity, or like a finesse, Ned rig, drop shot. I don't mind spinning a little more if I feel it's like a really comfortable, good, sensitive rod, something that I use a lot where I need to feel that. Whereas, like, say a frog or spinnerbait, you don't need super sensitivity, because, like, hey, you get a frog bite, you can see it, it's coming. Same for a spinnerbait, you don't need a crazy expensive rod for that. So I wouldn't be opposed to spending more. So I really just gave you both sides there. That doesn't make any sense. Don't spend money, spend more money. But anyway, my favorite $100 spinning rod, gosh, let me think. At $100, I don't know. What was your answer, Dizzle? What did you say? Or, that's the one you're looking for.
Yeah. Totally, that was what my answer was. We didn't talk about anything else.
Gosh, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. That's a good question. Like I said, this year, the Monster Bass one was my favorite. Oh, I did really like, now it's not $100 rod, it's like $150. I really like the Shimano Intenza, that new one. I've got a Dobbins Caden that I've really, really liked. That's like $160. Dobbins Fury is right just over $100, would be a great spinning rod. I've got a few of those casting rods. Fury is just a great all-around line. Those used to be $100 rods, and they bumped them up. I think they're like 120 something now. I did have a Tatula XT, I want to say, which was, I think I got on sale for $70. Really like that rod too, spinning. But yeah, spinning, man, I think you can get away with not going super crazy when you use braid. Now, if you don't use braid, different story, but Joe, I don't know if I'll be able to help here. Was thinking about trying BFS for Des Moines River, not so reverse up my way in creeks light action. Yeah, so for BFS, you're really going to have to look at how heavy are you throwing on there for your BFS setup, and really match it to that. So if you're throwing, like, I have the Dobbins Sierra one. I don't even know what it's rated for off the top of my head, but that's really what you've got to look at. So I would say, yeah, light. I think is what that is. Ultralight, like
actually,
ultralight.
my bad.
Is that right? Ultralight might be ultralight. I don't know.
This is actually a sub $60 rod. It's the Daiwa Arid X spinning rod.
Yeah, that rod performs above. I don't have the spinning version. I have the casting version. I know Hank Bass Geek said the same thing, which hopefully we'll be able to have a 4 horsemen of the FEESH apocalypse next week. Oh, and I didn't even do the. I think Jim and Bass Geek might be able to hop on next Saturday, so that should be a fun one too. We'll do a fun giveaway for that. Okay, so let's do this spinning reel, and then we're going to get out of here because it's almost 10 o'clock. We still had 300 people on. How in the hell do we keep 300 people on? That is daggum awesome. Okay. So last one of the night. Hashtag spinning. Now the good thing about the spinning reels is you can switch them around. So whether you use left or right, don't matter. Okay. Anyway, what was the question I had here? Oh wait, what did you ask a question? What was I got sidetracked there? Squirrel. Did you ask me a question of something?
No, I said the Arid X is the rod that I was thinking of.
Yeah. So for casting, yeah, it's like a $50 rod, and
like 55, something like that. But yeah,
performs above. I feel like it feels like a $99 rod. I would say.
Yeah.
$75 to $100 rod, and you can get them on sale. I think that's another one of those that you could have got. That was a couple years ago on the Tackle Warehouse sale for like $35, $40. Okay, so let's see. Let's get a couple questions here, and we will call it a night. What a bunch of fun! Again, I have to thank everybody, regular folks watching, members, new, old, doesn't matter. Appreciate the hell out of y'all. Appreciate you supporting old Debo through the years.
Old
TFO
bow.
panfish rod. I've got some TFO rods. I don't have any spinning rods from them, but I do like their rods. I know. I think it's oh gosh, what's his name? Ethan. Now it's is it Fish Everything? Whatever he changed his channel to.
Mm,
I know he had one and liked it. I think Paul has one and liked it. I don't have a ton of ultralights anymore. I've got a couple. I've got an old Abu one, Abu something I got at Walmart that I really like. And I've got a more expensive St. Croix one, which is really nice.
mm.
And I think something in between. But I don't have a ton, maybe 3, I think.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of spinning stuff to begin with. Somebody asked a question about ultralight stuff. I don't really have a whole lot of anything ultralight.
Not a Bob. Yeah, great point. I think ALF American Legacy has the Dobbins rods 20% off now. So when I was
Oh,
talking about all those, if you're looking at a Dobbins rod, I would head over there. 20% off, good grab. And I think it's you get an extra 5% off if you buy 2, I think is what their thing was. But let's see. Fenwick. Yeah, it's interesting to see Fenwick coming back around. Back in the day, I had an HMG and an
mm,
HMX. Yeah, I think one was like 50 and one was 70, something like that. But they were okay rods. I used the heck out of them. I ended up giving them away to a guy that was here local. We'd meet on the ponds and stuff, just run into each other. So I gave him a couple. But yeah, their new rods that they came out with, I got one of the higher end rods of those. That thing is something else. Yeah, they've kind of revamped their whole lineup of. And what's really cool about it too, I think that was what's his name? Tackle Talk podcast was interviewing him, and each line, so it's like there's the eagle, there's the bass, there's the I don't know, tactical, the amazing. Anyway, so there's like 5, 6 different lines in the Fenwick, but each one has like the same powers and actions. So it's like if you get a $50
oh,
rod that is like 7'3" moderate fast, you can go to the $400 rods and they have a 7'3" medium fast. So that's really cool because each line sometimes, even with the same brand, let's say Dobbins, you might like the Fury, but they don't have that same rod in the Champion or something like this. So it was kind of cool that they
right.
did that.
Yeah, that's good to like see consistency in some way, shape, or form. You know, I enjoy that.
Um, oh, Intensas. Yeah, I had quite a few people ask me about that. The old Intensas were for sale. The black and red ones. I
Hmm.
know some people got some good deals on that. Were asking about me on those. I do like that one. You liked yours, right? Did you have anything about yours you didn't like?
I really like the bait keeper, the hook keeper on it.
Mm,
How it's like on the reel nut.
yep. Where you
Super
screw
good
on that
use of it.
handle.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we have 164. Let's get to 170. 5 more in here, and we'll pull the spinning reel, and then we will get out of here. Question.
5 more.
Questions. Get them in now before we get out of here. This or that's. Anything fun? Favorite pizza topping? Favorite nacho flip? Whatever you got. We're at the end of the show here. We like the fun questions too.
I like supreme pizza. Just saying.
I do like the Supreme as well. That's a good go-to. Are you I don't understand the hate for pineapple on pizza. Are you do you care?
I mean, not on a supreme, but if I do like someone's
Oh
got a
yeah.
Canadian bacon and pineapple, I don't
Yeah.
have any problem with
Oh,
that.
I love that. Yeah, I don't know why some people are so like the whole I don't understand the whole argument of wings, bone in or boneless.
Right.
No,
I
I don't get
mean,
it. They're like, "Well, it's not a
some
wing." Then yeah, like I agree. It's just like it's a chicken tender in
right.
sauce, but I'll
Yeah. I
smash
mean,
either one.
yeah, well, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan, fish anything. Backyard slingshots, you asked me about the ultralight. No, I don't do a ton in it, man.
Jesse G question: why hasn't more people hit the like button? Great question. Great question.
Yeah, lots of BFS and ultralight. I am not the guy to ask for that, folks. Kayak stuff. People asking about some kayak things. I don't have one yet, so I can't tell you.
Explore
My
more
preferred
fishing.
rod.
Question for Debo.
I'll answer this one real quick.
Yeah.
Preferred rod stocks. I will say I have been switching more to the neoprene type. I don't think I have any around here. There's one here. It's not within reach, but you know the ones you would put. It was look like the old finger trap deals where it's like if you have a rod with a real tiny tip, it'll poke through those.
Or 20 small eyelets as well. We'll go through there easier.
Or small eyelets, or even your hooks down at the bottom. So I've been switching more than neoprene ones. I've just got so many of the old ones I haven't. I mean, I'm not going to re-go through and switch all those out, but I know some of the new neoprenes, they're in like that foamy type. They don't tend to hang up as well, and it doesn't matter what type of eyes or anything, it's all enclosed. So
yeah,
but I don't have a favorite brand or anything.
I really actually liked Lou's had a specific one. I think it was Lou's that came with you know, the bait cover too. You know, so if you had a like a treble hook bait, it came with a little case that would
like
go
the
over that
lure
as
wrap.
well.
Yeah, integrated. Yeah, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big fan of the lure wraps if you don't use them. Matt Ortliff, are you present?
Are you present?
The spinning reel. Oh, Scott. Okay, Scott was one that I was talking about. The Intenza. Okay, he was talking earlier. Said got one. Yeah, there was a couple people I know I was talking to about that. Augie caught any bass, and I recently no, dude. The last time I was out was that 2 weekends ago? Got out.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, Matt Ortliff, are you here? Must be present.
I'm watching. Matt. While I'm watching, the question that I had brought up, Debo, Matt is here. Where did the dang question go? Hey,
Matt, are you here?
Matt is here. Oh, I forget. You always turn around without your damn headphones in. Thanks, Debo. Yes, he is here.
Okay. Send me an email, debosfishing@gmail.com. Copy of your YouTube so I know it's you. Your address. Let's see. What else do we got? We got to have some fun questions in here too.
Question. This was a specific one for Debo that I had found, and I'm trying to find it. So if you have one.
I've never had stuffing inside the bird. I didn't really know that was like a real thing. Like I would see it on TV.
Seems weird.
Yeah, I've never had it. I mean, I would eat it. Absolutely. I don't see what's wrong with it as long as it's all thoroughly cooked through.
Okay. I feel like, how do you never, I don't know. I'm not a cookologist or anything. I just feel like you wouldn't ever get it fully cooked for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, was that part of the problem that, but as long as you get cooked all the way through, because I feel like that was part of the thing is something about you couldn't get it cooked through. Or, I don't know. I've never done it.
But. My question that I had found was from Explore More Fishing question specifically for DeBoe. How do you deal with negative comments on bidges?
Early on, I will say they did bother me. I knew you'd have to have tough skin, and I wouldn't say I knew because I was completely out of social media. I had no Facebook. I had no, Instagram, all that kind of started up with, at the same time when I decided to start doing, YouTube and doing videos and all this and that, trying to help teach people. So I wasn't big into that beforehand. So first starting out, they did bother me. I would get some mean ones, and it's like you work your butt off to spend hours editing, go out fishing, do all this, and then you have people be like, well, this guy's stupid or this and that. And then after a while, it's like you just get numb to it. You don't really care. Or I think you have to if you're going to keep doing it, because I've had people make fun of my ears. I have big ears. Yeah, I have a big nose. People have made fun of that. One person said it looks like I have a fake beard.
Which he does.
One
fake.
came up a while back where the guy's like, I can't focus on this guy talking because I can see through his beard. I'm like, what? Like, are you an idiot? Anything that people can find to pick on you, and those people probably just don't have a life, and
Duh,
I kind
why
of
would
feel
you make
sorry
a
for
video
them.
about
So,
baitcaster rods? I only like spinning
oh,
rods.
dude, all the time. You wouldn't believe how many negative comments on how to use a baitcaster. Oh, I can help you. Number one, quit
Uh,
being an idiot using a baitcaster. Throw it away and use a spinning reel. Problem fixed. It's like, why are you watching a video on how to use a baitcaster? Then get a life, nerd. Um, so yeah, you just get numb to it. I think you just kind of have to shake it off. I envision those people that are making fun of me as Randy, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, it's basically like Randy talking to me, and
Shut up.
it's just you know
You
something
know
that
I'm
whatever.
one of your biggest fans, Debo.
Oh, I know, Dizzle. I tease you.
Hmm.
Okay, Pat. Question here: when do bass take off feed bag and switch to super slow finesse? That's a good question. For me, I always find it's like once you start to tip down into those 40s, like high 40s, mid 40s, once you start that downward decline, and like I said, here in Iowa, it's usually quicker. I don't know for sure. That's a great question. I've had, when we talk about that early in the year, going up into the 50s, mid 50s, when you're starting that climb for spawn, usually I figure like 50-ish degrees,
Ooh.
55. That's when I'm starting to look for topwater. Dad and I had a day where we absolutely crushed them on frogs, and it was like 45-degree water. So,
Hmm.
I think it depends on the spot, and the place we were at had a little creek feeding into it that was just a couple degrees warmer, a
Hmm.
little bit shallower. So, for me, though, I would say 40-ish, mid 40s is when it's probably going to start flipping
I
around.
mean, you've said it a million times before. There's no 2 + 2 = 4 when it comes to fishing. I mean, that kind of goes similar to this. Sometimes it doesn't matter what, to an extent, it doesn't really matter how cold it gets. Sometimes the fish are just going to want to feed. There's too many circumstances, and this is or that's where it's a hard question. But I think you kind of hit it pretty good overall.
Let's see. Here's one. Cajun. There are no smallmouth here. Did they taste like largemouth or spotted? I don't know. You'll probably start an uproar if you're talking about eating bass. I have no problem eating bass as long as you're taken out, in your limit, and not being a dumb crap about it. There's some people here that will take buckets of anything they catch. It's going in the bucket. I have ate
Right.
largemouth, and they are very good tasting. So especially if you're managing, that's where it gets kind of weird because we've had Shan on. When you look at regulations and stuff for DNR, they're looking at, fish population, catch and release, making sure, they're there to catch, not necessarily growing the biggest fish, but if you're managing a pond, let's say you have, a 10-acre pond and you've got hundreds and hundreds of little 1 pound bass and they're all the exact same size, you're going to have to start taking some of those out for the other ones to grow. So I know that doesn't answer your question here, but as far as largemouth, I would assume they taste pretty much the same. Yeah, largemouth are
Well,
good to eat.
it all depends on what they're eating.
And young, I will say, like, the smaller,
Hmm.
I wouldn't recommend eating the bigger. It's kinda like catfish, once you get that, 4 or 5 pound catfish, great, but those big, huge flatheads and stuff, it's like, why? Why would you eat it? Just put it back, put the big ones back.
Right.
Let's see,
I
this or
think
that.
yeah, go for it.
Crankbait or jerkbait? Now or just in general? I don't know what that was pertaining to. Mm, I kinda lean on the jerkbait as a crutch early spring, late fall. I think I could catch more fish middle of the year without a crankbait than I could later in the year not having or early not having a jerkbait. So I'm gonna say
Yeah,
jerkbait.
I would probably agree with that as well. Um, Actually, no, I'm gonna go opposite because no, I'm saying crankbait.
I was gonna say you're a
Yep.
cranking fiend, especially when it comes to reavers.
Yeah. I mean, I like throwing the jerk bait. I kind of get stuck on it because I've had really really good days on a jerk bait, but yeah, I'm crankbait more. That's me.
Hmm. Dustin, that is a good point. Yeah, the neoprenes definitely weigh more. Yeah, they are heavier.
How do they handle getting wet? Do they hold on to liquid?
I haven't got one wet. It's a good question. If they're like those neoprene gloves, they should be waterproof. But
I was thinking if they got inside. So like if you have a wet
oh,
lure maybe, or like your eyelets are wet, lines wet, extra wet, from sloppy fishing.
Schlappe. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good question. I don't know, man. Here's what were you gonna say before I cut you off there, Dizzle? You were gonna say what were
I was just watching chat. It looks like some people are starting to thin out a little bit here. Just
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to give you a heads up.
Yeah, well, this will be the last one. Here's what's a good oh I'm not the guy to ask you for lightweight stuff. Let's do another. Let's do a fun one. Let's do one fun question to end on. Let's see. What do we got here? JT, thanks for another good Saturday Night Live. Thank you, man, for joining. Thank you, everybody else that's in here hanging out.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. People talking about we got one for we gotta have one to end on. Come on, one fun question. What do we got? I'm back talking about pizzas back here, headphones. Don't forget my question. Explore more. I don't know what that was. Did I
I
get
think
it?
that
Hopefully
was I asked you. The negative.
Cramp said, now's my bedtime. Ooh, here we go. Nachos or chips and salsa? I will say I'm not a big chips and salsa guy. I'm not big on nachos, but I will tell you that chips and queso, that's my fave. I'll take that over nachos and chips and salsa.
You ever get tachos?
I don't know what that is.
It's nachos
You
with
need to put a cream on that to solve it.
tater tots instead of chips. It's like an app. They have it at restaurants.
All day. I'd rather have that.
Those are
tater tots.
amazing. I like them both. I can't really decide. I do like nachos though. Oof,
All right. There we go. We
nachos
like
for the win.
cheese and taters and chips. All right. Again, we're out of here. Thank you all for watching on another Saturday night. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. Till next Saturday. We'll be back.